going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The Javelin, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Christmas Eve.
Happy Friday.
Yeah, welcome to Friday.
Yes.
Big thank you to McDonald's. It is a McDonald's Christmas Eve.
Yes.
So they provide us with delicious breakfast. Roy said he brought even a cheese Danish, which we've had and enjoyed.
Wow.
And a holiday pie.
All right.
Which you've had, right?
I've had the holiday pie.
Now, what's in the hot? Because I asked him what was in it, and I think it's
vanilla custard.
Custard, okay? Because I was trying to, and he kind of like, it's like a pudding.
What makes it holiday? It's got festive sprinkles.
Oh, okay.
It's delicious.
Nice.
I feel like you should try it on the radio.
No, I don't want to deprive others.
Well, we can cut it into pieces.
All right. You want to share it, Roy? Do you want to share the pie with us? Do you want to try some with us?
I'm not here to know.
You don't have to do it right now.
No, not right now. No.
Would you like?
It's like, I think they're telling me to go get it.
Would you like the three of us to share that pie?
Yeah. We can,
okay.
As a Christmas, we'll start a Christmas tradition.
Yeah, we could do it this morning.
Split a holiday pie every Christmas.
Yeah, just to try the holiday pie.
Mm-hmm.
I've never tried it. He's had it. Have you had it? Okay.
Yeah,
well, then I'm the newbie here.
Yeah.
Have
you ever had one of their and cream pies, like when they do like the strawberries and cream or the pumpkin cream? It's the cream that's in those, just the whole thing.
To be honest, I'm sorely naive when it comes to McDonald's pies because I'm a chocolate guy. So I usually go sundae when I go dessert or shake. So I don't. I've had their pies. Don't get me wrong. I've had their apple pie. I've had the cherry pie. I probably have had like when they've had a chocolate pie in the past.
Yeah.
But yeah, usually these end cream ones or limited edition.
Say again?
It tastes like birthday cake.
A little bit like, kind of like a birthday cake.
Well, I would like to sample it. Yeah, we can. Cut it up. Let's try it out. Let's give it a little dance. I don't know. Yeah, you want to do it now?
Do you have a guest in the next hour?
Next hour we got the sheriff.
Okay.
This hour we don't.
Yeah, we can knock it out this hour.
Yeah, let's do it.
Heck yeah. But big thanks to McDonald's. Make sure to download that app. By the way, today is the final day you can get a double cheeseburger for 50 cents.
Ah.
That's right, through the app.
Nice.
It's a great deal.
You think 50 Cent gets double cheeseburgers?
Oh, I would assume. I watched a TikTok the other day. It was like, I've been watching these TikToks with this guy. It's him in front of a mirror, and he zooms in, like in and out, basically, and says things. But he said, somebody told me about these 50 cent double cheeseburger they have at McDonald's, and I went over to my local McDonald's. I asked them, is there a limit on the 50 cent double cheeseburger? And they told me this. They said, just know that with every double cheeseburger you order, the customer service is going to go down a little bit. Just a little bit. So I ordered 10 double cheeseburgers and got out of there.
All right, so that is what one would refer to as the holiday pie. It is warm, and it says I should enjoy it by 8:11 a.m., which I like. They tell me, enjoy it by 8:11 a.m. today. That's how fresh it is. They're like, you should eat this by that time. Otherwise, give it to someone. No, I was kidding. But no, I like how they even got like, look, hey, man, this thing's so fresh, 8 in the morning. What I also like is that it's 8 in the morning and you get a pie. Uh-huh. That's kind of nice. That's not like usually
it's not restricted.
Yeah, sorry, that's not available till after lunch.
Yeah,
but it's eat it by 8:11 in the morning. Pie.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that they tell you that.
That's a morning pie.
Yeah, I like that. That makes me happy inside. So, big thank you to McDonald's. Swing by any of your locations here. and get, if you're traveling today, fuel up while you're on the road. Visit McDonald's if you're or hit it on your way out of town while you're heading to your holiday destinations. It's a hot mess. Huh?
Yeah, it is.
I'll take the small.
I was gonna say I'm gonna take a corner piece and so can he give you the.
Give me the middle with the goo. All right. Shall I go first, or should I just dive in? All right.
Roy his section. All right.
It smells delightful.
It is.
It smells like a warm baked cookie.
Oh yeah, it does.
It smells
like a sugar cookie.
Yeah, like right out the oven, warm baked cookie.
All right.
All right.
Dive on in.
Merry Christmas. Yeah, it's pretty good. There's nothing wrong with that pie.
Not at all. I don't know what it is about sprinkles. They add nothing flavor-wise to anything. They're just fun.
The consistency thing.
Texture.
A little bit. Yeah, kind of a crunch, but.
No, that's delightful. That's better than the apple pie.
Bit of a lemon almost finish to it.
I called it a cake pie because I didn't know what it was called.
I could see where you would think it's cake. Definitely has a birthday cake feel to it.
Apparently, they used to have birthday cake at McDonald's at one point because my friend was telling me how good it was.
I gotta keep a spare McDonald's napkin right here. That was good, tasty.
Didn't they used to have birthday cake at McDonald's at one point?
So what they used to do was, they used to actually do birthday parties at McDonald's. I don't know if they still do.
Yeah.
Pre-pandemic, they would, and they had these specifically just for the birthday cakes that they would. We were like 2 a month. I only know this from when I worked there. And they're specifically just a regular white sheet cake with frosting and nothing really special, but it had a picture of Ronald and like the Fry Guys on the front.
That thing is delicious.
It really is.
Man,
Not too shabby.
like I would like to dip that in a sundae.
Ooh. Or a la mode.
We just pour a sundae on it. Yeah. Yeah. You'd be dead by your 20, but
That's
you'll
right.
die with a smile on your face.
That with a sweet taste in your mouth. It's
I'm
good
getting
stuff.
diabetes just listening.
Oh man, it's good. I need to wash down this tasty meal. Excuse me.
Indeed. But yeah, visit any of the McDonald's locations here in Roswell, Artesia, or Carlsbad. Make sure to download that app. Like I said, 50-cent cheeseburgers, and with that purchase, you get your chance at free McDonald's for life.
Yeah, absolutely. The app is your friend. Yesterday, I ordered McDonald's again. I was like, I'm going to use some points. Then they had that special, 20% off your entire purchase, and I was like, dang,
This is a better deal.
I'm going to do that anyway. And then I did. So
There's weeks where I have literally lived on 1,500 point McChickens.
I can see, yeah. You know, it's saving time and lives. Big thank you to McDonald's.
Absolutely.
For sponsoring us. Let me give you the rundown for the show today.
The last before Christmas.
Yes. We're going to replay our interview with Crystal Noble from the Humane Society here in just a few.
Okay.
In the 8 o'clock hour, Sheriff Mike Harrington will join us and give us an update. Probably talk a little about the cold and advisories and obviously safety tips out there. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, we're going to replay. I did this kind of as a fun thing for Roy more than everybody else. But Robert Sherman, I'm going to play his interview from the Walker Aviation Museum at the beginning of the month. Had a great conversation. There's a bit of inside baseball in that one. I was going to replay it earlier, and then life happened, and we never got to it. And he kept saying, I got that Robert Sherman there. So I said, I'm going to play it today. Then he goes, I don't have it anymore.
I got rid of it.
Right? That's such his life. But yeah, we're going to replay that interview where he, and if you're like, what is Walker Aviation Museum? He'll learn you about it a little bit
right.
for the holidays here. So, plus we'll have all of your features that include the news of the local variety, the national variety. This will be our last show until Tuesday of next week. We'll be back in studio during Christmas. Actually starting, I believe, at 4 p.m. tomorrow. We will have right here for your listening pleasure on Roswell Talk FM an American Christmas with Mannheim Steamroller.
Ooh.
It is 12 hours of Christmas music, and
And Mike knows it is because he put it in
I
himself.
put all 12 hours in myself, and yes, but it's really good actually, and it'll start 4 p.m. And then run through Christmas Day at 10 a.m., taking you right up to our Country Club Road Church of Christ services Sunday morning.
Nice.
So if you need some good Christmas music to open gifts by and celebrate the Christmas morning, Keep it right here. We'll have Mannheim steamroller
That's right.
going. So, very good.
I'm a Mannheim fan. I'm a
Liz,
Fanheim.
Thank you. A Fanheim?
A Fanheim of the steamroller.
Is that what a...
I would
like-
think that's what they call, like, you know how like Beaver fans call themselves Believers. I would think they call themselves Fanheims.
Yeah. And what's her name's fans got names too?
Gaga.
Gaga.
Well,
and,
her fans are little monsters. They don't go off for name.
I'm thinking of her name just went right out of my head. Jeez.
Swifties.
Yeah, Swift. Thank you, Taylor Swift. That's what I was trying to think of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can be a Manny.
Yeah, Manny. I've actually gotten into this debate before because I know a lot of people lean more Trans-Siberian Orchestra, but I prefer Mannheim. It's almost like maybe it's like a regional thing.
I like them both, but for different reasons.
Sure.
Like Trans I like because it's got that youthful flair, even though it's been around longer than I have. But
You heard it here, folks. Mike likes Trans because it's got that youthful flair. That's a quote.
That's
You
right.
can bank on it.
Take that to the bank. But I like and it's got electric guitars.
Yeah,
and
it's got a little rock sound to it.
Yeah.
But I feel like when I'm listening to Christmas music, I'm kind of leaning towards like the traditional. Like I'm trying to get the warm fuzzies, and Mannheim just does that.
Exactly.
I picture Mannheim steamroller with like a nice hot cup of cocoa sitting next to a fire.
Yeah. And my little party of Christmas music, they would both be invited. So let's just leave it there.
There you go.
All right.
By the way, yeah, the chill out there is real. Thank God there is no wind.
It is muy cold out there.
Indeed.
Be careful. Bundle up.
Do the New Mexico thing. Dress in layers. I'm wearing a hoodie and a long sleeve tee and another long sleeve tee. So I'm layered up.
Yes, definitely be careful out there. If you're traveling, consult NM Roads. Go to the nmroads.com or download the NM Roads app to your smartphones and check it out.
Have you checked your trek yet?
I did. I looked this morning. Everything's coast is clear.
Nice.
But the rest stop on the way up 285 up towards Vaughn, that is closed due to bust pipes. So
wow.
I will not be stopping at the rest stop.
You mean the one halfway between Roswell and Vaughn, or between Roswell and Vaughn?
Yes,
Okay.
that one. And according to the NM Roads thing, they had a little blue notification on that. So
Busted
I was
pipes.
like, ooh, what's that on 285 there? And I said, oh, the rest stop is closed because of busted pipes.
Well, you can still go.
I can.
You
My
kick
pipes
up a little
aren't busted.
steam.
Yeah. No, we'll just move through.
Right.
We'll motor through. There's nothing at the outdoor rest stop that I need to see today.
I was just going pee.
Yeah. Oh, man. But yeah, all is good. But definitely check NM Roads if you're going anywhere and bundle up. Maybe give it a little bit of time to thaw out a little bit before you start trekking out there and all that.
I think I'm officially ready to start my Christmas shopping today.
Oh, good for you. You're going to get on it today?
I think now's the time to get on it.
He's kidding.
I'm
He's
not
been
going to
online.
be. I've done some.
Yeah, he's been online.
Yeah.
But now you're going to get like stocking stuffers.
Yeah, the
and-
stocking stuffers, the ancillary things.
What's
the
your
extras.
idea of good stocking stuffers? Just curious.
Well, okay, so I was raised in
Or
the church.
family tradition.
I was raised in the church, so
Okay.
traditionally we would always get an orange and an apple, a collection of festive holiday nuts
Okay.
for some reason, candy canes, and I always loved, and this was my favorite go-to, those little soda candies. Do you remember the ones that they're shaped like little soda cans?
Oh,
And they
yeah.
had the little candies that tasted like the soda or whatever.
Yeah.
We always had those in our stocking for some reason. Those, and then the other thing, and I haven't seen these in years, they were little Christmas ornaments, and they were filled with fruit-shaped powder, or fruit-flavored powder, but they were shaped like the fruits that they tasted like a little
Interesting.
bundle of grapes. And it was a Christmas ornament. We used to have those in the
I've never
stocking all the
seen
time.
those.
Those were fun.
We did the same kind of stuff of, like you get a piece of fruit usually, which I never ate because,
Yeah, why
And-
fruit when you got candy?
well, I just don't like fruit. But, and yeah, there'd be some candy. But yeah, it would be smaller gifts like a cassette tape or, sometimes our batteries would be in there, weirdly enough. Like if you got toys with, back
Yep.
in the day, all your toys had to have batteries. So I'm sure that's still the case. I don't know. Technology world, everything plugs into a Bluetooth something or other.
I
but-
always thought it was funny getting somebody like a Christmas themed anything to put in like the stocking or like a Christmas mug.
Yeah.
Because tomorrow that mug is going to be completely pointless.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to look at a Merry Christmas mug on December 26th.
Well, if it's a good mug, then they're going to save it. Like, ooh,
Yeah.
it's officially time to use my mug.
That's right. I can break it out next year.
Like Say one got a Marty Moose mug.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Now that would be something.
I mean, technically that's a Christmas vacation mug.
Yeah.
However, any time of the year is good to use the Marty Moose mug.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know.
I would argue that any time of the year is a good time to drink eggnog out of a Marty Moose mug. It's just not available. Yeah. You're going to have to make your own.
Yeah, eggnog is disgusting.
I'm still a fan.
All right, 7:20. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on that Chile weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll be staying very cold today with that Arctic air moving into eastern New Mexico. Mix of sunshine and clouds. Our high this afternoon only in the mid-20s and our wind chill 5 to 10 below. Overnight, partly cloudy and single digits, and then not quite as cold on Saturday. We'll warm up to about 40 with sunshine. Clear Saturday night, Christmas Day, low 50s and sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 11 here in Roswell. That's warmer than I thought. Humidity is at 38%. Winds are out of the east at 6 miles per hour with wind chill right now. Feels like 1 degree Fahrenheit. We are in the wind chill advisory through 11 a.m. today. It's going to be partly cloudy, high of only 23, with a wind chill value as low as -6 in places. East winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy with an overnight low of 7. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. For you Saturday, warming up just a tad. Sunny skies, highs near 40, with still wind chill values as low as -3, but south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, mostly clear with an overnight low of 21, and east winds at around 5 miles per hour. For you Christmas Day, sunny skies, highs back into the 50s, 52 officially. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Christmas evening, mostly clear with an overnight low of 29. And Monday, sunny and 59 for a high there. All right, it is 7:22. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to play our interview with Crystal Noble from the Humane Society. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Here to help you breathe easy. That's what you can expect from Artesia General Hospital's cardiopulmonary and respiratory therapy team, both literally and figuratively. From innovative treatments for lung cancer and COVID-19 to management for everyday breathing problems like asthma and bronchitis, our care for acute and chronic conditions is unmatched in southeast New Mexico, and the compassion of our caregivers offers peace of mind with each visit. Get the help you need for chronic respiratory conditions. Call 575-748-3333 or visit artesiageneral.com/respiratory.
If you need a Kubota that works and plays hard, stop looking. You'll find everything you need at Amigo Machinery. When it comes to tough Kubota tractors, mowers, construction equipment, and utility vehicles, all with low-rate financing, Amigo Machinery is your one-stop shop. We are passionately committed to providing our customers with the highest quality products, most innovative solutions, and services delivered with integrity and professionalism. Stop by Amigo Machinery in Roswell or see us online at amigo-machinery.com.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The ball on top of a flagpole is called a truck. Mess with your friends today by pointing at a flagpole and say, "Hey, check out the truck on top of that flagpole." Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 23 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, now officially, from the Roswell Humane Society, Crystal Noble back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm good. I like this weather.
I know you like cold.
I do.
I do too. As long as the wind stays away, I'm okay with the cold.
If it's not windy, it's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But once it starts getting windy, I'm getting cranky.
Yep, I'm out. I'm like the poker dealer. I'm out. Go.
The only bad part about it is when you work at the Humane Society, it doesn't matter. You have to be in it.
That's true. That's true. And I would imagine that because that building's is it a steel building or
in metal?
Yeah. So imagine it probably requires a little bit more heat to heat that building and everything else. So
yeah, our gas bill was $1,000.
I would imagine. Well, how full's the shelter right now?
We are very full.
So maybe that'll cut down costs, and more warm bodies will help.
As long as we don't keep the doors open to the outsides.
Gotcha. Then you're
it
good.
Stays pretty good. But we do have to have ventilation, so we have to have the fans on to circulate fresh air.
The air and freshen. But yeah, pets are heaters. I don't care if it's a dog, it's a cat. They're all little heaters. They put them on your lap, and
The bigger they are, the hotter they are.
Kim makes me laugh because she'll be like, "I'm hot," and she's sitting there with a blanket on her and 2 cats. And she's like, "It's warm in here." I'm like, "No, you're sitting under a blanket and 2 cats. It's not warm in here."
Yeah. I have a whoopee, and I call it my whoopee, and I don't care. I'm a grown woman. I have a whoopee.
Yeah.
And it's my blanket. And so in the mornings when I get up, if it's cold, I grab my whoopee from the foot of the bed, wrap up in it, walk around the house.
Yeah.
And John laughs because I go to the front room with it. I go over here with it. I go in the kitchen with it.
And when it's colder, she has a heavier. It's like a faux fur one. It feels like an animal.
That's my whoopee.
Yeah, she's got, but it's thick as all get out.
Yeah.
And it's almost so thick that it's like
a weighted blanket.
Yeah, it's to that point. And she's under that thing, and then she's got 2 cats that are just heat balls, just emit heat. And then she's like, "I wonder what." And I'm like, "Yeah, you're literally under." It's like they're sitting in the oven going, "It's hot in here."
Am I cooking?
Yeah.
My cats love it. I'm the big mama cat.
Yeah, and they start kneading on her, and
I love my blankets, and I like the cold more because you can cuddle up, you can put things on to warm up. When it's hot outside,
you can only take off so much.
Yeah, and
before you get arrested.
Yeah. Or if you're even in your home,
right.
still stripping down, you cannot get cool.
And then start frying some bacon. That's a bad idea. But anyway.
Yeah. But when like in the wintertime when you're cooking, it warms the house.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to use much electricity if you're cooking in the house to heat the house.
Yeah.
But in the summertime, you can't cook.
No.
It's too hot. You sweat, you smell. You don't smell in the wintertime. Even if you do sweat, you don't smell.
Plus, like in the winter, it's a cozier feeling because you get the warmth and the fire and you get the blanket or whatever, and it's way more like snuggly cold. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
For summer, it's like, get off me, get away from me, don't come
look
near
at
me. Yeah.
I don't even want to know you exist.
Exactly. So I get that, and that's true. Which is the same for your pets, by the way.
It is. Their body temperature actually runs hotter than ours. So where we have a fever at 99 degrees, that's low for them.
Yeah.
Their normal body temperature is between 101 and 102.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's a high fever for us.
Sure, yeah. But to them, that's normal temps, which...
So can you imagine your body temperature normally being 102 and you're outside in 105 degree weather?
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yep. And not the ability to sweat.
Right.
The panting only gets it so far there.
But and then in the wintertime, yes, they should not be left outside in cold weather because just because their body temperature is a little bit warmer doesn't mean that they regenerate that heat without shivering. They shiver the same as we do.
Sure. Now, obviously, certain breeds are more, like if you got a Siberian Husky.
If you have the double-coated dogs, this is like a warm summer day to them.
Yeah. Then you probably... Now, don't get me wrong. Even though you have a Siberian Husky, tomorrow night when it's 9, don't leave them outside. Bring them in. I don't care if you're the abominable snowman. That'll freeze you out there. You know what I mean? Don't do that.
Our horse, he has, it's called a turnout coat, and it goes over him, and it straps underneath his belly so that way he can walk around, but it covers his core. And his hair is like almost as long as mine. I call him woolly mammoth, or my husband calls him fuzzbutt. But his hair is thick.
Yeah.
Like I can run my fingers through his hair and like lose my hand, and he still gets cold.
I think my wife wants to date him. She hasn't been able to do that with me in a year.
If you bring a stud muffin treat, he will be all yours.
Oh, man.
Mr. Gill ordered him some stud muffins from Chewy's, and they're just little horse treats, and they're actually pill pockets. So if you have to give your horse medicine, but they're molasses and oats. Well, he's like, oh, I don't have to have any medicine, but I want them.
I still would like to have that.
I like them. So, I'd given him one, and he's like, oh, hi, how are you? Where are you going? I'm following you. I'm going to walk inside the house with you because you smell like that thing you just gave me.
Yeah. Have you ever met Mine, that bird, the Kentucky Derby winning horse that from here?
No.
It actually lives on a ranch not too far out. Sometimes they bring it out and things. I don't know if you ever got a chance. But that horse's favorite treat is the little peppermint mints, like you get at Sonic.
Mm-hmm.
That horse, you can't get enough. People love giving them to her, and the horse loves those things.
My horse is a celery and beer.
Really?
Yes. And
how does one learn that factoid?
So he tried to remove a body part because I had stuffed celery under my arm because I'd given him some because I was trying to lure him, and he wrapped around and missed the celery.
Got the bear.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's funny.
So when he's getting celery, we're in a strict no move zone location.
Right.
Here. But his favorite treat is watermelon, celery.
Nice.
He loves beer, but it has to be in a glass bottle. If it's in a can, he's like, I don't want that.
He's got standards.
He does. He does. And it's
I
funny
want that swill in a
because
can.
if you have a glass beer and you set it down, or if you have it in your hand, he'll just grab it by the neck, tip it up until it's gone, and then drop the bottle and walk off.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not fun when it's your last beer.
Hey, hide your beer, the horse will steal it.
He will. He will.
Funny.
He's a very good thief.
Wow, that's funny.
As are cats.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Cats like to just knock things over. It feels like out of spite. Like, they know you don't want it knocked over, but they do it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't understand where that comes from.
It's like they look at you and they go,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they literally like, oh, yeah? Watch me.
I like some of those TikTok videos where the cats are like sitting on the computer desk and they're talking to him. They're like, don't do it. And they're like,
don't. He's like,
he's about to walk on the keyboard and he's all,
yeah. We have one cat that will do that. Bella's the one that she's like, I do what I want. You ain't gonna stop me. I'll do what I want.
you are my masters.
And then hiss at you when you tell her no.
Just left cats in their multiple personalities.
Yeah.
I love you. I hate you.
I made her get up out of my chair. Was it yesterday or day before? She hisses at me. She sometimes hangs out my chair when I'm gone, just to, because it's a comfortable chair. And so I got home from work and she didn't greet me. She was there in my chair. And when I was ready to sit in it, I was like, all right, Bella, get up. And she gets up, no problem. But I hear this, and then she goes down and walks away.
That's her way of keeping us all.
She gets up and complies, but as she's walking away, it's like,
yeah,
like jerk. Yeah. So, speaking of pets, I think we started to go there, and then we got sidetracked.
So right now we have some respiratory issues with the cats. So right now none of the cats
they're
are
all
available.
on quarantine. I think that was the case last time, 2 weeks ago too, right?
We have one. We're down to one, and so when the one is cleared, then we're good to go.
So coming soon.
Coming soon.
Hopefully after the Christmas break here, maybe.
So as of today, all adoptions have stopped.
Gotcha.
Until after Christmas, just because there's not going to be any time
for vets to do their thing.
Fence checks, meet and greets. We do have different holiday hours for this week. We'll be closing at noon on Friday.
Okay.
We will be closed all day Saturday. And then our normal Sunday, Monday will be closed.
Okay.
And then we'll be back open on Tuesday at 10.
So people can still come to the shelter and look the next day or two, and maybe find and fall in love with a pet. But to start the process, or at least finish the process, you can probably start.
It'll
it this
be
week.
It'll be next week.
But
Sorry.
before you can take ownership of the pet, it'll be next week.
Yes.
Very good.
And then the thrift store's hours are going to follow the same, except they'll open next Wednesday at 10 a.m. instead of Tuesday.
Okay.
So, and for the thrift store this week, starting today, 10 a.m.
Yeah, they open up here for the first time this week in 30 minutes. So.
Yes. So they are going to have all Christmas 75% off from today, tomorrow, and then half day Thursday.
Nice. So Christmas decor and all that stuff.
Anything Christmas, it doesn't matter. And then in the book room,
including the movie Die Hard. Just kidding.
And then in the book room, the vintage books are going to be 50% off.
All right.
And the vintage books are the ones that, they're good to read, but they're mostly for like decor and, to be
display pieces.
Display pieces, you know, for you to talk about. Oh,
some
like,
people
I
like
picked
to,
this up at blah 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 blah.
Yeah, some people like to have like a decorative bookshelf, and they'll get old books, even though they never read them or nothing. They're there to.
And I think some of the vintage books are the bigger table books as well.
Okay. Coffee table books, those are great if you like. Usually have pictures of waterfalls or mountains or Bob Ross or something like that.
Yeah. But for anything Christmas related is going to be 75% off today, tomorrow, and then the half day Friday when they're open.
Nice. So if you're looking like maybe get an artificial tree or something, you haven't put up the tree yet. I know some people are like, they do all of it on Christmas Eve. That's kind of everyone has their different little traditions. Some started a month ago.
I would prefer to set up a Christmas tree like Christmas Eve, but I'm the only one in my family that feels that Christmas needs to happen for just 2 days and then go away. Everybody else is like, let's do it Thanksgiving, and I'm like, no.
I like your thought process there a little better, I think. So.
Yeah, I don't want to hear Christmas music for 4 months. I don't want to see Christmas lights for 4 months. Christmas is the 25th. We decorate for a few days.
The one exception to the rule is Main Street downtown. I love coming downtown and seeing all the trees lit up. I could look at that for months. I don't care. That one because it's at night when I come to work or in the morning when I'm coming to work, it's still dark, and I'm like, and I see the lights. I'm like, oh, that's kind of neat. And
it's lighting my way.
Yeah, exactly. So that one I like. But past that, yeah, I agree with you. I don't need Christmas lights for 2 months leading up to and 2 months after.
Yeah, the people that decorate for Christmas after Halloween, they need to get some mental help.
I understand, and I can concur on some of that. But
and like, don't get me wrong, I like Christmas. I'm not the Grinch.
Oh, I'm the Grinch. I'm the Grinch.
I like Christmas in small increments.
Sure.
You know, when you go to the store and you see Christmas before you see Halloween, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
And they make it over publicity, you know, and then you see all these people, oh, I'm going to give so-and-so a puppy for a gift. You know, I've seen a lot of that recently on Facebook, and that irritates me because, you know, they're not gifts. They're a commitment. Mm-hmm. And if you're not willing to take the commitment, like we had one dumped on us on Sunday, that was a early Christmas gift that they didn't want. They dumped it outside the shelter and just left.
People do that. Because it washes their hands of it and they don't have to worry about it. But, you know.
And a lot of people don't realize, you know, you buy people gifts. An animal is not a gift.
No.
And whether they like it or not, you know, you can't re-gift an animal. You either have to find it somewhere to go or take it to a shelter. You know, you can't just be like, oh, I'm going to stuff it in the closet and then when somebody needs a gift, I'll give it to them later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not Chia Pet.
No.
It's a living thing and needs to be treated as such. And yeah, you're right. And this is why we've talked about it every time. And now if you want to give a pet as a Christmas gift, it's fine if the recipient is on board with the whole process as far as helping to select the pet to the one that actually kind of registers the pet and everything. You can pay for it, but that's got to be registered through the person that's giving it in case the pet gets lost. Certainly establishing the shot records and all that. And, of course, surprising people with pets that you think could use a pet but may not want a pet. That ends up just like what you just talked about here, where they end up being abandoned and left outside the door of the shelter and, you know, left literally the basket left on the front porch like the old cartoons, you know, that same mindset. That's what they're doing at the Humane Society with pets.
And this time of the year, it is extremely busy for us because on Monday we had 9 puppies dropped off in a box outside the front of the building.
People
we have cameras and animal control is willing to prosecute as long as we get a license plate number and a picture from the cameras. So we are working with animal control to try to help eliminate it. You know, unfortunately, we can't be open 7 days a week.
Sure.
But
I'm glad you're able to get some evidence to maybe make these people responsible for what they're doing.
You know, it's not hard to call during business hours.
Well,
they're open Monday through Saturday. We're open Tuesday through Saturday.
If you have to surrender an animal, we get it. You know, that people every day.
Happens. We understand.
People, you know, go to a nursing home, can't take the animals. People move, can't take it. somebody dies and no one wants the pet. I mean, these things happen every single day. And we get that. It's okay. Bring the pet by, but just don't leave it in a box on the doorstep and walk away. That is just a jerk move, and it's a coward move. B, if you truly want to help these pets, and it seems like you do, you're trying to say, I can't do it, but someone can, then at least give that someone else a real opportunity here. Let the shelter say, okay, I don't have a place, but we can take them here. Or all right, great, let's get them in now. What's the history? Have they had shots? The more information you give the Humane Society, the more they can do to help these pets. How are they on their boosters? Have they had any? Are they done anything? Or, how old are they? What can you tell me about these animals?
Right, because when it comes to us learning about the animal, that helps us to know, like, okay, so the dog is fearful of other dogs, or the dog is, okay with kids, not okay with kids.
Help them help you help get these pets a good home,
And another thing would be spaying and neutering.
Absolutely.
Stop breeding. And
if you think you're trying to make
litters,
money by doing this, you're wrong.
No, and the other day, my husband and I went to Walmart. There's a guy sitting at the corner of Walmart, right when you pull in, and he's got puppies, and he's got a sign, Christmas pets for sale. That's not what you're supposed to do.
A, it's illegal.
It is illegal, and 2, if animal control catches you, that's big trouble. And 3, you're standing outside in the cold, and you've got these animals in a wire crate.
Don't support this activity.
No.
If you see it, report it.
Call animal control if they're closed. Call the non-emergency police department.
Yeah, because they good intentions aside, whether they have them or not, they're doing it wrong. And at best, you're going to get these pets at worst, or more likely, you're going to get, they're probably sick. They're probably something wrong with them.
The majority of them that are given out that way have been exposed to parvo. 9 times out of 10, when we get people that call us and say, hey, my dog is doing this, I got it from so-and-so in a shopping cart in the Walmart parking lot, it's parvo.
It's sad, but it's very true.
And, you have to vaccinate your animals. You have to be cautious. You can't take them to strange places that you're not aware of if they're not vaccinated. And you can't go to strange places because you can track it home on your shoes.
It's true.
So until your animal's fully vaccinated, you have to kind of be like OCD with it, but it's for the safety of your pet and your animal to not expose them to a disease that's not curable.
And things like parvo and stuff, if that gets into the shelter, it can literally impact every single pet in that facility.
The vaccinations are not a guarantee that they will never catch it. It's just like the flu shot for us. It puts it in our system so our bodies can have a natural immunity to fight it off. Once our body has built an immunity to fight it off, if you're exposed to it, you might get a mild case of the flu where an animal would, get mild symptoms, but not full-blown parvo.
But not die,
And not die. 9 out of 10 vaccinations are live virus, so it does give them some of the symptoms, just like when we get the flu shot. It's a live virus. So basically, the flu shot is giving ourselves the flu. When you give an animal the parvo distemper shots, you're basically giving them parvo and distemper, but
it's a controlled dose.
It's controlled, and it's creating an
antibodies.
Immunity, so that way their body can start fighting it because of how bad it is here. Southeastern New Mexico is one of the biggest, hottest spots in all of New Mexico for parvo.
And you talked a little bit about that because we don't really have 4 seasons.
We don't.
And so it doesn't allow the parvo to die per se. It'll hibernate, it'll go, but it truly doesn't
And it
leave.
mutates.
Yeah, and it mutates to adjust. So because of our weather pattern, it's more susceptible to animals, dogs.
If you haven't noticed, we still have flies and mosquitoes, and this is winter.
Yeah.
We don't have like other places where, you have spring for 3 months, you have fall for 3 months, summer, winter is true winter where you stay under freezing for 10 to 14 days at a time and then have one warm day.
Yeah, we got 25 Friday and 63 next Tuesday. That's why we have.
So we have, one freezing and 25 above freezing. Until our climate changes here, we're going to have that problem always. And the more you stay on top of it, take your animals to the vet, keep them vaccinated, keep them boosted, it helps reduce the amount of spreading. Adult dogs can get parvo. It's not unseen, and even if they are fully vaccinated, they can still get it. But the majority of dogs that are adults that do get parvo,
their immune system's strong enough to fight it off.
Weakened immune system.
Gotcha.
Or they have a compromised immune system, and they don't have the right antibodies to fight it off.
Sure. So imagine if you have a sickly dog to begin with, they probably have a much greater risk of getting parvo than a healthy
And
dog.
ironically, there are certain breeds that are prone to getting parvo.
I imagine, yeah, that's just,
that they don't have the right stuff to fight it off.
gotcha.
Like Rottweilers, Dobermans, Pit Bulls, Boxers. Those are just a few that are very prone to not being able to fight off parvo.
Interesting. So I was thinking more like pushed-in-face dogs, but not necessarily. So, I mean, although Boxer could probably fall in that category.
Yeah,
but definitely.
and like
so.
Boxers are prone to cancer.
Yeah.
So are Rottweilers. And it's in the genetics from the beginning of time from their breeding. You have to somewhat inbreed to keep it purebred, and that causes problems.
Mm-hmm.
So you have...
That's why it's always better to get a mutt, my opinion.
Mutts are better.
My opinion, you're going to have a smarter, happier, friendlier dog.
And a healthier dog.
And a healthier one, yeah, absolutely. But I know people have their heart sets on their whatever, purebred, Basset Hound.
One of the
Charles,
things I saw
whatever, yeah.
yesterday on Facebook was purebred toy poodles for Christmas pets. Christmas presents.
Yeah, see, to me that...
And then you have like a post right after it, and they're posting it on like the Roswell buy and sell pages.
Yeah.
And the next post down was French bulldogs. And then, they're all these designer dogs, but what a lot of people don't realize is poodles have to be groomed every 8 to 10 weeks.
Yeah, there's a lot of work with a poodle.
They don't shed, they mat, and it becomes very painful for them if they don't get groomed.
Yeah, they're constantly needing attention. Otherwise, like you said.
And French bulldogs, they have the push-in face. We don't have the best summer here for that style of dog.
Purebreds in general are just less healthy animals and require more you time of being a
better pet owner.
A better pet owner, yeah. Whereas now, don't get me wrong, you want to keep your pet's vets, do regularly regardless. But if you're looking for dogs that you really just take in for their vaccines, annually or whatever, they're for their routine things, your mutts are going to be your most maintenance free of the bunch. They're going to be the ones that you just sit and enjoy. Occasionally they'll get into something and you got to go take them to the vet or every year for their vaccinations or rabies shots, whatever, their normal maintenance of health scheduled events. But yeah, for most part, mutts like our sissy, she was a lab, but she was a mixed lab. She was a mutt, but she ended up getting cancer at 15. But for all those years, she was a pretty healthy dog. And when she did go to the vets, because she did things like leap off things or break her tail while sleeping, stuff that you're just like, how did you do that one? But it wasn't like a heart condition or a lung condition or something like that,
What a lot of people don't realize is dogs with deep chests, and it's not like mutts too. Any dog that has a very deep chest is more prone to get congestive heart failure.
Interesting. Okay.
They have a certain cough. It sounds like a wet hack, like smoker's cough in a dog.
Okay.
And that's because there's fluid building around their heart, and it makes them cough more. So they, just like humans, get put on Lasix to help reduce the fluid around their heart to stop the inflammation of the heart.
Interesting. So there you go. It's an interesting little fact to it. All right, I just saw the time. We better get into the business of it here. So like you said, we got the holiday hours going on here. Yes. No adoptions. You can come and visit and start the process for the next day or two here. But all adoptions will conclude next week after the holiday here and before New Year's. And then, of course, the thrift store. Don't forget, today and tomorrow, save big on Christmas decor, Christmas everything Christmas.
75% off.
Yeah.
If you want to stock up for a new theme for Christmas for next year, now's the time to do it.
Good deal. Don't forget, you can always go to the Humane Society's website and see all of the pets that are calling the shelter home right now. If you see not available next to them, which you'll see next to all the cats, it's because they're in quarantine, not because they've been adopted. If they've been adopted, they're off the site.
Yes.
If you see not available, it's because they're in quarantine. It's because of, they're waiting on vaccinations. They're not making weight. They're not heavy enough yet to be available to
adopted. Or they're on medication for a certain reason. Or they're on medicine. Yeah, it's all of these reasons. But once they come off, they're available. Now, if you see a pet on there and it says not available, but you're like, oh, that's Scruffy. That's my next, love of my life. Don't hesitate to reach out to the Humane Society and ask questions. Email, call. We can give you the info.
Matter of fact, you could probably start some of the process of the paperwork and stuff. You can't do the specifics, but imagine registering address, contact information, getting it to the point where when you're ready to adopt it, it's just a matter of, okay, what vet are we going to? What are we doing? And then boom, get the thing finished up. But because the goal of the Humane Society is to find a loving home for every one of these animals. And when there's someone who's checking in on a pet that's technically not even theirs yet and wanting to check on its status and try to visit, now you can't visit because it's quarantine, but you know what I mean? Someone that's just...
You make it a point to show us that you're very caring.
And you're like, okay, you're going to be a lucky cat because when you're ready, they're going to spoil you rotten. And then obviously the reasons why the restrictions on adopting, if you're adopting a dog, you must have a fenced-in yard. They will come and inspect that. They need to make sure your home is okay to harvest a dog, to have a dog be there. If there's other dogs in the family, they're going to be a meet and greet because they don't want you to have World War III in your house every time the dogs get together.
No, and then that's going to cause unnecessary vet bills.
And guess what? Then you probably have 1, 2, maybe 3 dogs coming back to the Humane Society.
Right.
And then with cats, it's a little bit.
Cats essentially hate everybody in the beginning.
Yeah, and the only guarantee or really requirement there is you got to provide an indoor home for the cat.
Yes.
No outdoor cats, no outdoor cats. These cats are strictly adopted to be indoor cats. Cats outdoors aren't. Because that's how they become feral. That's how they're,
attracted to more viruses.
Cats that live indoors live a different life than cats that do not. And cats that live indoors are going to get their lunch eaten if they live outdoors all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I see my cats all the time. They hear the other cats outside, and they're looking and like, that cat's harder than you. Do not mess with that cat. That cat's harder than you, dude.
Cell block 99? Yeah, that's cell block 101.
Yeah. That cat's way harder than you. It's like, see that paunch that's not existing on that cat that you have? There's a reason for that. Yeah. But definitely reach out. And then, of course, come and check. And what about volunteers and stuff? I know always looking for more. Yes. I know with the holidays and stuff, but with looking for volunteers to come and
walk
interact,
dogs,
walk the pets.
We don't have very many cat volunteers. The one we did have, she found out that she was actually allergic to cats.
Oh wow, that's a bummer.
Yeah, but we do need more volunteers to come in. Help spend time with them, help keep them socialized.
Sure, the cats love
it. Cats love it.
They do.
We've got catnip. We've got all sorts of cat toys. Take one out at a time and just play with them and. Just help them wear some of their energy down because even though cats sleep 21 hours out of the day, for 3 hours out of the day, they're going stir crazy because they don't have a big area to run and play in.
And to be honest, we've seen enough of those cat whisper shows and all that too. If you're having some of those issues at home with your cats, like tearing up stuff and doing things, they're bored. Give them more entertaining, enriching things to do, and you will probably find out that goes away. That's all. It's the cat's telling you these things, and if you learn the language, it's pretty.
Learn to speak kitty.
It's
meow.
Pretty simple. Just, but they're not that complicated of creatures. You just got to learn their language a little bit.
A funny thing, really quick. So I saw last night that the word homeowner has the word meow directly in it. So. Home meowner.
Maybe that should be you can get a cat.
Every homeowner should have a meow.
Yeah. We got 2. So, but please check out RoswellHumane.org. See all the pets available. You can come by the shelter today and tomorrow through.
So we'll be there We'll be there normal hours today and tomorrow.
Okay.
And then Friday we'll be open 10 to 12.
Okay.
And the same for the thrift store. They'll be open 10 to 12 on Friday.
So come shop, and then while you're there, come look at the shelter and see and visit some of the pets and things, and take advantage of the great deals. By the way, they have sales at the thrift store, but they don't need to because they do to drive, but at the end of the day, everything you buy in there is
discounted,
like at minimum 50% cheaper than whatever it was brand new, and probably a lot bigger than that. And so if you're still looking, and like you said, with the books and things, you guys have stuff that you hold back that are new. So if you're looking for Christmas gifts, you'll still find some great gifts there.
They still have a ton of Christmas stuff that they haven't even pulled out of the shed yet.
Good deal.
So please come shop.
And every dime you spend there goes back to supporting the Humane Society, where it's paying utility bills or vet bills or cleaning products and dog treats. Or kitty litter. It all goes back to the animals. So you saving money and shopping and getting good deals, it helps to save pets in our community. So it's a win-win for everybody.
Yep.
Well, Merry Christmas and
then Happy New Year.
Yeah.
I was going to say, and we're following the same holiday hours for New Year's too.
For New Year's as well, too. So same schedule there. Of course, if you go to RoswellHumane.org, you can see all that there. And, of course, follow the Humane Society on Facebook. Is a great way to stay up to date on hours and specials and new adoptions, things like that are going on. So become a member, too. RoswellHumane.org. Look about becoming a member. Your pets, your dogs,
Membership
your kids.
starts over January 23rd.
Yeah, squirrels.
January 1st of 2023. Wow.
Squirrels, pet rocks, anybody can be a member. So, and it all helps and supports the Humane Society. Well, awesome. Appreciate it. We'll see you next year. And don't enjoy your holidays. Hopefully you get to do things. Enjoy just the 2 days of it. Not the 2 months left to do, but just the 2 days.
Yeah.
And then back to normal for you. So.
Yeah. I'm going to be like, Christmas Day, that tree's coming down.
That's right. All right. When's 4th of July?
I'm more for St. Patty's Day first.
Hey, oh yeah, we just should get through St. Patty's Day first.
Yeah.
That would just be, polite. All right, it is 9:56. Quick. Polite. All right, it is 9:56. Quick.
Now your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. Eddy County Commission Chairman Steve McCutcheon presided over his final board meeting this past week. During the meeting, McCutcheon thanked his fellow commissioners, the county staff members, and citizens for their support over the past 4 years. He had served as chairman of the board the past 2 years. McCutcheon represented District 4, but decided against running for another term. District 4 includes parts of central, northern, and eastern Eddy County. State officials this week released a draft permit that includes tougher provisions for the U.S. government to meet if it wants to continue dumping radioactive waste from decades of nuclear research and bomb making in the New Mexico desert. The public will have the next 2 months to comment on the proposal. Watchdog groups have already indicated their support for measures that include forcing the federal government to consider developing another waste repository somewhere else in the U.S. and reporting annually on those efforts. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. Both the Roswell boys and girls basketball team, along with the Dexter girls basketball team, they were all part of the Clovis Holiday Tournament over the past 3 days. And here's how it went. Roswell finishes in 4th place after losing yesterday to Clovis 66-52. Roswell fell behind early, trimmed it to 9 in the third quarter, but could never quite recover all the way. Ivan Miramontes 22 points for the Coyotes. Steve McCaskill had 11, all from the free throw line. In girls action, it was Roswell yesterday defeating Dexter to finish off the tournament. 60-10 was the final score. Roswell had lost the opening round game on Tuesday to Sandy and then fell yesterday to Robertson 60-44. Roswell comes back home with a 5-4 overall record. Dexter is sitting at 2-5 overall. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
Oasis Computers has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years, and they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for even faster service.
Bill Cunningham is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM KEND Roswell.
Closing on 8 o'clock, Town Hall News up next. We'll be back.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The winds are howling and temperatures plunging as that fierce cross-country winter storm bears down on the east. Several people are dead, several others wounded. A shooting earlier today targeting a Kurdish cultural center in Paris.
A 69-year-old has been arrested and France's prosecutor's office has opened a murder investigation. Police had cordoned off the area in the 10th arrondissement of the French capital. The Paris Police Department had warned people to stay away from the area. I'm Karen Chamas.
The Democrats' House January 6 committee wrapping up its work blaming former President Trump for the U.S. Capitol riot. Prior to the unrest, Mr. Trump had exhorted his supporters to assemble peacefully at the Capitol. Arizona GOP gubernatorial candidate Carrie Lake is in court pressing her claim of election misconduct in the race that she lost.
We proved without a shadow of a doubt that there was malicious intent that caused disruption so great it changed the results of the election.
A judge heard the arguments. There's no word on when a ruling might come. West Point will remove memorials honoring one of its former superintendents, a Virginian, who later became one of the Confederacy's leading figures.
During the holiday break, a portrait of General Robert E. Lee dressed in his Confederate uniform will be removed from the school's library where it's been hanging since the 1950s. It will also remove the stone bust of Lee at Reconciliation Plaza, and Lee's quote about honor will be stripped from the Academy's Honor Plaza. The moves are part of a Department of Defense directive ordering the Academy to do away with installations that commemorate or memorialize the Confederacy. John Scott reported.
Consumer prices rose 5.5% last month compared to a year earlier, that according to the Commerce Department. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 65 points, and NASDAQ off 67 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Are you kidding me? Gas prices are up again? Somebody has to do something.
Well, someone did. That's why I use Upside.
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that pays you back real money for every gallon of gas or diesel you buy. I just earned 25 cents back on every gallon of this tank.
Hold on. So the Upside app is free and you actually get cash back every time you use it? No strings attached?
Yep, it's awesome. Check it out. It only takes a couple of minutes to sign up.
Instead of just watching your dollars go into your tank, start putting money back into your wallet with the free app from Upside. With the price of gas today, it's big news and big money. To cash out of your Upside cash, just transfer it to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card. Upside users have already earned over $200 million. Now it's your turn. Download the free Upside app and get cash back on every gallon of gas. Use promo code SALEM for an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. That's code SALEM. Use code SALEM for an extra 25 cents per gallon back in your first fill-up. Cashback's not available in gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
A former Peruvian president, impeached and jailed on corruption charges, is demanding a meeting with the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights, whose members are visiting Peru.
The delegation has been to Lima and Cusco to assess the violent response to anti-government protests, in which 21 people have died. It's very unlikely, however, that they will agree to visit the ousted president in jail, as that would go beyond the remit of their mission in Peru. The unrest began 2 weeks ago when Pedro Castillo was ousted and detained for attempting to dissolve Congress. His supporters say he was the victim of a right-wing coup. In the past week, the new president, Dina Boluarte, seems to have regained control of the situation.
The BBC's Leonardo Russia. Greece planning a major extension of a steel wall along its border with Turkey next year, the move being applauded by residents in the border area as well as voters more broadly. News and analysis, townhall.com. A call for the feds to investigate social media's role in the deadly spread of fentanyl.
The National Crime Prevention Council, known for its ads featuring McGruff the crime dog, is concerned about the sale of fake pills laced with fentanyl on Snapchat, the social media platform popular among teens. The group has asked the Justice Department to investigate what it says are drug transactions on the platform. It says Snapchat's encrypted technology and disappearing messages makes it especially hard to catch dealers. Snapchat's parent company says it has improved the platform's safety and that drug complaints are down. Overdose deaths in the U.S. hit a record last year. I'm Norman Hall.
South Korea says North Korea fired 2 short-range ballistic missiles toward its eastern waters today. The North's latest weapons demonstration comes just days after the U.S. and South Korean warplanes conducted joint military drills. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
Holy call it the deuce.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Friday. Happy Eve of Christmas Eve.
Yes.
Happy McDonald's Friday.
Yes, indeed.
Big fine folks at McDonald's. Big thank you to them for hooking us up with delicious breakfast treats. We had a chance to try the holiday pie last hour. It's the first time I've had it. Everyone else was a veteran. But if you've not had that pie, order you one. Just get one.
It's the first time I've been referred to as a veteran.
There you go.
I like it.
Thank you for your service. But yeah, they are a 10. I was pleasantly surprised by that thing, and this coming from a guy who's not a pie guy,
right?
And I loved it.
Who's relatively chocolate centric for most of his desserts.
I would eat that thing all day. It's pretty tasty, and you got to eat it warm.
Yeah,
I think if it cools, it's not as good.
Yeah, that's the problem with custard. Is once it's cold, it's not the same. Doesn't slap the same.
Like I would recommend whatever time they put on your pie, eat it before that.
I would say custard is one of those things where warm, delightful, frozen, fantastic. It's that weird middle ground that just gets
like Yep. I would agree there. Yep. So either freeze it or nuke it, one or the other.
Yeah.
Now I'm wondering, what if you freeze it? How would it if you froze that? Put that pie in the freezer and maybe tried it.
Well, I mean,
I wonder what it tastes like.
It's basically frozen custard.
Yeah.
Which
would it be like an ice cream pie?
I gotta imagine it's probably like like eating like a caliche in the middle. Right?
I feel like some spearmint needs to be done.
I would agree. So get yourself a holiday pie, stick it in the freezer. If you've got that kind of willpower and weight,
we'll get 2 pies.
One for now,
one hot, one frozen.
I like the way you think.
Well, to do a good scientific evaluation, you must eat one at optimal warm temperature, and then freeze one, and then compare and contrast.
I concur. Or you could do the other way. Just get your holiday pie, go ahead and freeze it, and then go get one. Take that with you to McDonald's. Get one fresh from McDonald's, so you know you're getting a fresh pie.
Oh yeah,
and then compare the two.
And then do it that way. Yeah, that would be optimal.
Optimal.
Yes, but you do you. It's your pie. I don't care. You could eat it room temperature. You do you. You're a savage, but you do you. Big thank you to McDonald's, and we do appreciate it.
Yes, indeed. I was just checking to see if it's warmed up any at all outside. It is still 11 degrees.
Yeah, let me see.
I saw a meme. Oh, it's 12 now. Ooh. I saw a meme earlier. It just said, it's disrespectful outside, which I would agree.
You're right. It is now up to a balmy 12.
Strip a layer off.
Our wind chill is at 2. Feels like 2 out there.
Feels like 2.
Yeah.
So
2.
Yeah. It would be, this morning was actually not awful. Yesterday was almost worse than today.
Well, because there was a breeze.
There was a breeze, and also there was moisture in the air.
Yeah.
So, like, my windshield immediately was, like, frozen over. This morning I woke up, there was no ice or anything on my windshield, and it wasn't, it was still, so there was no, it wasn't like blowing.
It's the cold today that, like, if you're moving, walking, or, you're like, okay, I can deal with this. But the moment you stop and just stand there, then you're like, oh yeah. Now it like when you stop moving and just stand there, you can almost feel like your body's starting the process of sitting in the freezer, freezing. Yeah.
Freezing over. Starts at the extremity. You're like, okay, all right.
That's what it feels like. But if you're moving, you're like, okay, it's not so bad. But the moment you just stop and smell the roses, you're like, okay, now I get it.
Now the only big problem was the condensation this morning, like the collective breath of myself and my kids. It was, immediately fogging up the window, and I tried to crack the window to get a little air inside, and that just made the car freezing. So it was a whole thing. But kids,
do you do the pre-warm up thing, or?
Yeah. In this kind of weather, I tend to.
Yeah, just be careful, with the cars and the thieves and all that stuff out there.
Yeah, which that's what I do is I have 2 sets of keys, so I'll put one set in, start it, lock it up, and let it run for a little bit, and then get everything ready and go about it.
Well, this is where I am, and I know you're gonna, judge me for my.
Oh no, we're aware of your.
I'm very thankful I have a garage.
Your warm garage with the heated floors.
To be honest, the last several days, it's been colder going to lunch than it was going to work.
Yeah.
Because my car is in the garage and it's warmed up for them. It's pretty much good to go. I don't have a heated garage or air conditioning.
Now, we don't warm your Jeep up in the garage. That's a bad idea.
No.
I was like, please don't do that.
No. I start it up and go. And if I have done that in the past, I've had it with the door open.
Sure.
I don't have a death wish.
Right.
but
it's getting carbon monoxide in here.
But I know yesterday, because it being cold, I went to go to lunch and I go to start the Jeep up, and for a second it's like, are you sure you want to start? It's cold. There was that. It started fine, but there was that second of like, oh, it's cold. No. And it was like, okay, all right, yeah, it's cold out. So, we'll see when I go to leave here.
Yeah.
Although I'm not gonna lie, I cheated today. I cheated like I should never. Because I'm only here till after the show, and we're heading to Albuquerque.
Sure.
I didn't park in the alley. Because I was like, I don't feel like walking. So I literally just parked curbside today and said, I'm here till 10, and then I'll.
I like it. That makes sense, though. It's
yeah.
Quick egress.
Yeah. Today I said, you know what? It's Christmas. There's hardly going to be anybody in this building. I said, why do I need to walk all the way from there? I'm just going to park right here and do this.
Yours is easy egress. I was seeing a girl for a while who would always park out in the boonies of a parking lot. And I asked why do you do that? It's easier egress. That way, if I need to get out, I can get out.
Sure. I mean, I understand that. That's great. That's a great ideology if you go to rock concerts.
Yeah.
Malls at Christmas.
Sure, you got to walk a little bit to get to the thing, but you're the first one out of the parking lot.
I use that logic sometimes at concerts and things. Like a good place. I don't know what it's called now. Whatever the Journal Pavilion's called now.
Oh, it's the Isleta. I think it's the Isleta.
Yeah, whatever it is called now. That place, it behooves of you to park in the back. And it's because you're hiking regardless. You're hiking a mile to get into that bowl regardless.
Yeah.
Unless you pony up for the VIP tickets or parking, which they offer usually. But it's like $60 more or something. At least, I don't know what it is now, but it was a few years ago when I was. Unless you get that parking. But either way, you're walking down that switchback bowl to get to the, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think, I just, for some reason, it triggered my head. I think that parking lot is where they shot the scene in Breaking Bad where he, I think it's where he shoots the engine or something like that. I'm pretty sure. I can't remember exactly, but I'm almost positive that they shot a scene of Breaking Bad in that parking lot.
Okay.
I don't know why that drifted through my head, but yeah, that parking lot is huge. I have no idea what he's doing either.
I'm very curious. I'm enamored by whatever Roy's doing. Are you talking to us, Roy, or are you knowing something else?
Because at first I
thought my headphones on. I'm just hearing Roy going, no. What are you knowing us? I'm just drowning you out. Oh.
He's drowning.
Is he wrong?
That's what I thought he was doing. He was like, wasn't sure if I was remembering a scene this incorrectly or what.
I was just,
I just don't want to hear any spoilers for it.
Oh, okay. You haven't seen Breaking Bad.
That's right. He's watching it. You're watching it right now, aren't you?
Yeah.
How deep are you in?
I forgot. Okay, now it makes sense.
Get on mic.
Yeah, get on mic. Now it makes sense. Okay, I was like, why is he saying? I thought maybe Roy was.
I thought he knew something and was like, no, it's not. That wasn't where they shot it. It was over here.
Yeah. So you just have you're in the middle of watching Breaking Bad.
I'm in the first season.
Okay.
First season. What's your thoughts? How far into first season? Like 1 episode, 12 episodes? What's the
4?
Okay.
Okay. You're very early in
4 or
the show.
5 episodes.
I always give a disclaimer. With the show Breaking Bad, the first season is kind of tough to get through. I will admit that openly. It's because you're learning about characters. Things are getting set up. It's not the best season that they had of the show. If you can get through season 1, especially the final episode of season 1, you will be hooked. I guarantee it. Most people are like, I get like 3 episodes in, like, it's not for me. Just wait it out. Trust me.
It does take a little bit of that. It's the whole thing. And
well, I do like it.
You do like it. The thing I always hated about the show, and I know that's what makes it great, but it just drives me nuts, is you feel like there's so many points where this all could have been turned around and all, you know what I mean? And you're just like, it's like you're watching and you know it's not going to end well, but you're still like, why are you doing it? To me, it's just,
right.
It's like, why is this show happening? It doesn't need to.
Well, the one thing it does, especially in like the 3rd episode, is this thing that I really hate, and that they do in some things where they humanize a character, or they like, you know, or the villain goes out of his way to like make the protagonist suffer in some way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well,
like I must
buckle in, Buttercup, because you got about 6 more seasons of that.
Like you could get off scot-free, but no, you have to hurt them.
Yeah, like you got to push things. You got to push things a little bit. It's almost feels like for the sake of the TV show.
Yeah,
which I can agree with you on that.
And they humanize them, make you feel about them, make you care about them just a little bit before they turn right back into a monster.
Well, Vince Gilligan has gone on record several times as saying the concept of the show Breaking Bad is, what if I took Mr. Chips and turned him into Scarface? That's the progression you get of the show is Mr. Chips to Scarface.
Wow,
that sounds about right. I could see that once you say that. And to be honest, the show's great because the side characters are something you're interested in. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that's what makes it, a good show because you do.
Skyler, Walt Jr., Hank, they all humanize. They humanize the show.
And to be honest, Better Call Saul's a hit because the side characters' backstories were written so well, and it's kind of, so to that degree, to create the universe.
Fault.
Yeah. For the record, I still to this day hate the name Walter Jr. There's some names that you can't junior.
Yeah.
Like Sean is a name you shouldn't junior.
Yeah.
Walter is one of those you just don't put a junior on.
Because it's WJ.
It just sounds weird. Yeah. Like, I would even accept Walter the Third or Walter, if you're going junior, Walter the Second.
Yeah.
But junior just doesn't work with Walt. That's always slapped my ear weird about that show.
Yeah, I could see. What would he have said Wally Jr.?
Wally Jr. even works. I think maybe it's just the hard T. I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that it's the same amount of syllables.
Yeah.
Walter Jr. I don't know. It doesn't hit my ear right.
Yeah. Walt Jr. Walt. Well, I don't know.
And honestly, the name he chose,
Mr. Chips.
No, the name right. The name he chose to go with instead, Flynn. That's even worse.
Yeah. Now, have you've not seen any Better Call Saul? You've never seen any of this stuff, right?
Right.
Okay, good deal. Now, but get through the first season. The second season gets it. Actually, my wall hit in the second season.
Is it?
That's where I hit in there, and I was like, and then I battled through it. But there was a part where there was his girlfriend, ends up ODing in the bed and all that. And
spoilers.
I didn't say whose girlfriend.
Ah, okay. Good point. Good point. Yeah, that's it. It gets there's some parts that are harder to watch.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff that Walt does in season 2 and season 3 are like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But
so
yeah.
But report back. Stick with it. I'd be curious to see what.
Okay.
Now, what is this a type of show you normally like? Like, do you like these kind of thriller, drama, suspense type shows, or are these not normally your thing?
It's not really like it's.
Like what? If someone said, "Roy, what's your favorite TV series to watch?" And if you were like, "There's nothing on TV, but I could pop this in and pop a squat on the couch and watch it," what would that be?
I can't think of any on top of my head. I'll just say Miami Vice.
Okay. I was going to lean more towards like a My Hero Academia, like an anime or something like that. Would that be something?
Yeah,
you
that
could...
too.
Okay.
That's just.
Although Miami Vice says a lot to me, because I could think. So if you like Miami Vice, so you kind of like that drama. You like the chase.
I like the first 2 seasons of Walking Dead.
Okay. The first 2 seasons are good. Yeah, I can get that. So I can see. Then you probably are into like Breaking Bad, because those are Walking Dead certainly dark. Miami Vice had it's a cheesy 80s version, but it still had that like cartel drug typey thing and all that.
It was darkness just with a pastel sport coat.
It was in a sexy let's make things look cool kind of way, but it's a lot of highlight. That's what we all learned about highlight.
You know what? You know what show I like? The A-Team. That's the
the A-Team.
That's the kind of show I like.
Okay. So do you like the campiness of A-Team?
Yes, I like camp.
Okay.
I'm a fan of cheese and fan of camp.
I think the A-Team is a little problematic. Nobody has ever brought up the fact that Mr. T's character, I can't think of his name offhand.
B.A. Baracus.
B.A. Baracus.
Thank you, yeah. You know what the BA stands for, right?
Yes.
Bad aiming.
He hated flying. He didn't fly. He never wanted to fly. But yet he always got on the plane.
You brought this up before.
They were roofing B.A. Baracus.
Yeah, they knocked him out every
Tell
time.
me they weren't. So like they were Cosbying him.
Yeah, every single episode, whether it was with a pill or with a fist. But they would.
It's a trifle problematic by today's standards.
By the way, I was like, who's knocking out Mr. T? Just saying.
Yeah, but
have you ever been unconscious? It's really bad for you. Like really bad for your brain.
Yeah, but they were running around with a mental patient.
That's
several.
true.
Actually, they all were, really. If you think about it, Murdoch was the only one that was certified. I think pretty much all of them had a little screw loose.
Yeah, they're all wanted by the law.
And Murdoch wasn't even really crazy, was he? Like, he was crazy, but, like...
It's debatable.
It was crazy like a fox.
Like, he wasn't, like...
He was actually in institutions, and they broke him out of it.
Yeah, I know, but I think
he wasn't like.
Yeah, I think that was part of the hiding and say, like that was part of the A-Team. Like he didn't really have to be there; he was playing it up to you know what I'm saying?
Maybe,
I don't.
Yeah, like he was using it as a.
Yeah, it was a front a little bit. Yeah, he's off kilter. Don't get me wrong.
Well,
but not enough to where he needs to be in a home.
Sure, just use that to his advantage.
Because quite frankly, people anyway, mental health facilities are nowhere near like anything that Murdoch was given out of and going into. So, but I mean, think about it though. All of them are goofy and crazy, and to be honest, that the A-Team would never work in modern. They would have been arrested like halfway through the first episode because they would have been caught. There's nobody that's going to elude the government and everybody and doing all the stuff they do in the public radar in today's world where there's a camera everywhere and every time you burp, someone picks it up on video, you know? You can't even drive down a highway without... I mean, I watched this show. It was a bad ABC sick reality show where it was... the whole point of the show was you had to be on the lam, basically.
Okay.
And these guys would go escape, and they'd have to track them down, and the FBI would use all their stuff, and everyone's caught because as soon as you get on a freeway, they've got the cameras, and they're like, oh, look, we got the license plate. He's in Atlanta. Let's go get him. I mean, it's literally that, the world we live in now. It's very hard to. So the A-Team would have been over in about 20 minutes.
You just reminded me of a show I haven't thought about in years, but at a time was literally my favorite show on TV.
Yeah.
Man Tracker.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
That was such a good show. Did you ever watch Man Tracker? Okay, so the whole premise is this, they would like, it would be just a guy.
Yeah.
And who's like, good at like survival or whatever.
Yeah.
And he would go and try to hide in this like foresty area from this dude whose whole thing was he's
like a Manly or Bear Grylls.
Right. He can he's a tracker. That's like his whole thing. He tracks based on like footprints, tire marks, things like that. So for like an hour or 30-minute shows, weren't they?
Yeah. I think they were an hour.
Maybe an hour.
I think they were an hour.
Basically, you have to elude this dude for 48 hours in the show in order to win like $50,000.
And you have to stay within the parameters of the map or whatever it is. You can't just like go off radar. You have to kind of, meander.
And every now and again, one would elude Man Tracker.
Sure.
But that dude was phenomenal.
If I remember right, didn't they have to get from like point A to point B without getting caught?
Yeah, they had to get to like the finish line.
Yeah. And so
what was great was the captures, because Man Tracker would find him, and half the time he would just tackle him.
Yeah. I loved when there was a bunch where he'd almost get him, but they just elude escape for that
just
minute.
past the finish line. He goes, ah.
And they do, and the competitors, was it usually one or two? I think it was like two competitors.
It might have been two.
I feel like it was two competitors. And they would usually, the people that would compete, like a game show, in essence were survivalist types, or people that thought that, I'm a former military special forces, I can get through this, or I was a cop, or I hunted, or
was it
whatever.
Renegade like that too? The show Renegade?
Well, that was a scripted show, though, wasn't it?
Oh, this wasn't a scripted show?
No, this was a reality show.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Like it was on Discovery or Learning Channel, one of those channels.
Here's the premise. It says, try to outrun a cowboy. Not the easiest of games, but doable. Here's the twist. It's you against nature, time, and Terry Grant, a veteran outdoorsman who knows nature like the back of his hand. And here's the real crux, is the contestants hardly have any outdoor experience. Sounds crazy. Here's the prize. Nothing. Absolutely nothing, except that you outwit your surroundings and the predator. Wait, didn't they? I thought they got money.
Maybe they did.
Oh.
Maybe later seasons did. I don't know.
But great show. Great show regardless. That's one of those I can go back and rewatch.
So let me ask you this. Since we're talking these kind of shows, is there ever one of these shows that you think you could do well on? Like any, and I'm talking fair game, Survivor,
it's
Big Brother,
funny.
whatever.
I've toyed with the idea of doing Survivor.
Okay.
Except, and this is the thing that stops me. You think of physical activity, whatever. No. I'm bad at puzzles. That's what it comes down to. I couldn't do Survivor because I'm bad at puzzles. And like every single game, even the physical ones, are always like, put a puzzle together.
Right.
I'd be screwed. So that's what stopped me from doing Survivor. Maybe Big Brother, because I don't feel like there's a lot of risk.
A lot of puzzles there, though.
There's a lot of puzzles there, too. That's true.
Because there's a lot where you got to solve the picture or whatever it is. Or there's a lot of ones where you got to scream across the thing to get the right order of the cards and all that. So there is a lot of that.
Couldn't do Naked and Afraid because I just don't want to expose anybody.
I don't want to be naked, and I don't like being afraid.
I feel like I could do Fear Factor.
Fear Factor?
No, see, that's
you like eating bugs and
I could probably get through the eating thing. I'll tell you, there was one stunt on Fear Factor that messed me up. It was they had to swim under in this tunnel, and like underwater this whole way through. And there was one spot in the middle where you could pop up and get some air, but it was this like long tunnel. I'm terrified of the thought of being underwater with something over my head, like blocking me from getting it. That terrifies me.
I can see that as a fear, yeah.
And I would go into panic attack mode and start, gasping for air underwater and, have to be rescued.
I've thought about it because I watch a lot of TV, what I do. And like Big Brother and stuff, I could do it. I just don't think I'd like it.
No, I think the big problem with Big Brother is people like you and me would be really bored.
Yeah.
Because you can't watch TV, you can't look at your phone.
And to be honest, I hate getting wrapped up in people's drama, so that would drive me nuts too.
If the only fun activity is socialization and drinking, I'd be out.
Now, so I've thought about it. And of all the reality shows, I think I would enjoy doing the most. That might be the sheriff that I heard the phone ring. Of all the shows, I think I would enjoy doing the most, and this People will think this is weird. Alone.
Okay.
The show Alone.
Yeah.
If you're not familiar with it, it's on History Channel. And basically they take a half dozen people and then they send them to the remotest parts of the world. I think some down in South America, up in Canada. And basically they just put them in these remote spots and say, live, survive. And
but they don't give them like anything, resources or anything. Those guys are like...
They give them a list. There's a list of so many items they're allowed to bring with them. They can choose and select. Is that our guest? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. They can choose and select.
Eastless.
And the sheriff?
And sheriff.
They can choose and select certain items. Like they can have a couple comfort, or you can choose between this or this. So they get a list of things they can bring with them, but the rest you got to survive on their own. And I think that one I would, of all of them, that would be the one, A, to see if I could do it.
Sure.
But B,
you went a lot further in scouting than I did, so I feel like you have a lot more of those skills.
I could. You know, I'd have to dig up into the brain there of some of my wilderness survival stuff, but I just think I could have fun with that. Like I could create, because I wouldn't mind if I'm just sitting there with a lot of free time and I got my food situation, and I think I'd love to just build a little wall and just build my little hut.
Was that the one? Was that the one where the guy built like the gigantic like house in the tree and then like it caught on fire?
It may have been.
I think that was the same show. I can't remember if it was that one.
Yeah, it may have been. There's been about 10 seasons of it now, so I haven't seen every single one.
It might have also been one of those, because there was also a weird vein of TV shows where it was like, remember that one where it was like the guy who lived just on the outskirts of a town, but he's lived in the woods for like 30 years? He only comes down. I can't remember what that was called. He only comes like into town to get like, to get like a new knife or something like that, and then he just sneaks back into the forest.
Yeah. It is 8:30. Sheriff Mike Harrington's here, and let's take a quick break, and then we'll talk with the sheriff. I think Charles Eastless as well. Don't go away. We'll be back. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
ENMU Roswell welcomes new and returning students to register online and on campus for the spring 2023 semester. Prepare for brighter days ahead and learn new career skills in arts and sciences, technical and health education right here at home. Classes start January 17th. Talk with an advisor today. Call 575-624-7000 or log on to roswell.enmu.edu.
Success starts here. ENMU Roswell.
If you're missing a tooth or several teeth, a dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin & Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin & Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin & Brown, your choice for experienced, state-of-the-art dentistry.
The Red Raiders.
Running room to the 5. He's going to score!
The Rebels.
And they'll win it in double overtime!
Live from NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas.
The kick is right down the middle. It's good! Red Raiders beat Oklahoma.
It's the Texas Bowl. Join us Wednesday, December 28th on your home for Red Raider football.
It's your Texas Tech Red Raiders against the Rebels of Ole Miss, the Texas Bowl. Wednesday, December 28th, 6 p.m. on KSVP, AM and FM.
The numbers don't lie. Crime is up in southeastern New Mexico. In 2021, Roswell had almost 40 crimes per 1,000, including larceny, assault battery, burglary, motor vehicle theft, robbery, and homicide. These days, the best defense you can get is having a locally owned company install the best security system available. That's Xena Security Services. They offer real security solutions for your home and business. When it comes to your safety, you need a locally owned, locally minded security company at your defense. Call Xena Security Services today. 575-626-3521. 575-626-3521.
Edge Safety and Services LLC in Artesia, New Mexico has an immediate opening for a safety technician. Position requires a clean driving record and must be able to pass a drug and alcohol screen. Edge Safety offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contribution towards health benefits. Please email resumes to edgecoding@yahoo.com or apply in person at 402 West Main Street inside the Edge Safety and Services facility. Edge Safety and Services LLC is an equal opportunity employer.
If your family's like mine, they're ready for some fun. Hi, this is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. A trip to Glenn's is like a trip to Disneyland. A new buttery soft power reclining sofa and love seat turns your living room into family land. Cozy new bedroom furniture turns the bedrooms into dreamland. A handsome new dining table transforms your old food court into a 4-star restaurant. And it's all in stock, on sale, and ready for free delivery. So treat your family with a trip to Glenn's Furniture at the corner of Union and Alameda.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Slugs have 4 noses, but no fingers to pick them. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 34 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in the studio this morning, Sheriff Mike Harrington and Under Sheriff Charles Eastlis back with us. Morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
How y'all doing today?
Doing good.
Cold. Good. Yeah.
Doing good and cold.
Merry Christmas to you
Merry
and
Christmas
the
early.
entire Sheriff Department staff there. I know they are going to be on their toes, keep working here, especially now that we've added another wrinkle of some colder weather here. That, and people.
As long as it's dry. We're hoping that keeps people in.
I know. Unfortunately, people are going Christmas traveling, and good news is we're not too bad here in this county, but parts north is not so much. So be careful.
Yeah, if you get to where it's wet at all, it's going to be slick, and there's going to be cars off the road everywhere. And what we know, and you've seen it here just in the recent past, is nobody slows down.
You're right.
They just continue on. So a 1-car crash can become a 3 or 4-car crash pretty easy in icy weather.
Absolutely. It's it doesn't matter how many wheel drive you got; they all will slide on ice.
They sure do. So I told them, if there's no traction, it don't matter what you got going. Yeah, you're gonna go for a ride. You'll be able to pull yourself out of the ditch, maybe, but if you're lucky.
And let's face it, we don't get a lot of snowy weather driving.
That's right.
Around here, which means a lot of people don't have the experience unless they come from other parts of the country. So we have a lot of drivers that are inexperienced when it comes to inclement weather.
Well, and it's amazing how many people, when we do get some weather, all of a sudden they need to go somewhere.
Right.
They didn't need to go anywhere until.
I think that's just a mental.
Then they goes into panic mode.
But you know what's
we better go get
crazy
milk.
is
told you can't do something. The first thing we want to do is do it. Yeah.
we know about blowing dirt, sandstorms, and people still drive like crazy through a sandstorm and hit the cars in front of them or get hit from behind or.
Actually, one of the scariest moments in my years of driving happened in one of those little sandstorms. Because I've been through them before, but that one I never.
Brownout.
Yeah, it was. Matter of fact, it was right at the Eddy County, Chaves County line there, right where that dairy is.
Yes.
And when the wind hits, it's like a highway of dirt that shoots right through there sometimes. And I went through there one time, and you couldn't see past the hood of your car. And I remember saying, "Oh, all right." So I just went the left lane and kept going. And I what scared me was while we were driving, there was a car in the right lane stopped.
Yes.
And if I would have been in that right lane, I would have plowed right into them. Never saw them when those two.
We had a unit get hit like that.
So for the love of God, do not stop in the middle of the road on one of those things. Get off the road if you're going to do that.
Oh, yeah.
On the relief route between Brasher and McGaffey, every couple of months you're going to have it there. And then on 285 at the relief route, just where those open fields are, that dirt just keeps blowing. I don't know how there's any dirt left in those fields.
Right.
It blew it all over to the neighbor. We should have a mountain over there.
I was about to say, I think we've got Arizona's dirt. And, Texas got our
dirt.
They got our water.
That's right.
We've got those things, and a lot of people who come here, they're used to having that zero visibility from a blizzard.
Sure.
And we have it with dirt.
Right. It's true.
So it's
that's our blizzard.
We get brownout conditions, not whiteout conditions.
You get out, man.
Not quite as hot as cold, but it'll beat you to death.
Equally less enjoyable.
You get out looking like one of those Star Wars. You got to wrap up and have the goggles on, because man, you'll be covered in dirt.
It's like you just come from Tatooine.
Yeah. Our uniforms are with the black vest and the black shirts, and you come in, you're tan. You're like a light.
Everything's cream colored.
Yeah,
right.
Cream colored. Yeah.
Well, that might be like I was watching. It was one of the sheriff's departments in California, and I'm not one to get on uniforms and fashion here, but their uniforms, they weren't bad, but they went with the it was a gray or whatever but they went with this blue for their ties and for like their patches and stripes. and it's a very bright, festive blue. And I was like, it's not a bad blue. It's just I'm not sure if it looks right on a police officer's uniform. It's
real loud.
Yeah, it was a little loud, and so that one might benefit from some brown dust.
Some brown dirt,
Blend them in a little bit more because you can see them ties coming a mile away.
We had a little. He pulled a little prank, and when we went to the new shirts, he said, "Yeah, they're going to be brown with red pockets, and that way everyone can see us and everything." And I'm sitting here trying to picture it, and shaking my head. I said, "Hey,
like an artillery officer in the Civil War."
And then I told him, I said, "Now we're allowed to wear our own clothes, right?"
So but I'll tell you what, when we went to these new uniforms, everyone's like, "Man, why'd you go to a black shirt from the light colored shirt?" Well, everything shows up on a light colored shirt.
Yeah.
So no matter if you're out dealing with something or if you are eating or whatever it may be, it ends up on that shirt.
Sure.
Right? So we went to the black shirts, and I'll tell you, it's been one of the best things. Plus,
how's the heat factor been on them?
It's easy. These things are so comfortable, so thin.
They actually keep you cooler in the summer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're really nice. And there's no issues with that. It's just like a farmer or a rancher who's out. They wear long sleeves all year.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of my guys have gone to wearing long sleeves all year for the same reason, to keep that sun off of you.
Sure.
Because you'll have a nice tan on the arm closest to the window.
That farmer's tan or trucker's tan. Yeah.
And then this arm over here.
Matter of fact, catch me in the summer, you'll see one I got.
Yeah.
On one arm.
Goes right back here.
So we've had a couple deputies who had retired and were diagnosed with like a skin cancer.
Just a lot of it sitting in the car, exposed to the sun all the time. Factor there,
Yeah, and like I said, it's a lot better to go to the long sleeve. But like I said, we wear short sleeves also, but it does make a difference with the sun, the wind, the rain. It doesn't matter.
Sure.
It's
Not
really
to mention, like you said, you're dealing with stuff all the time, and obviously you guys, glove up and everything anytime you get on a scene, and that offers that much more protection against that kind of stuff too.
Yeah, it
so
does. Yeah.
it's just another layer of
It's
protection.
bite protection. It's a lot of different
Sure.
things.
Yeah. You guys have to be a jack of all trades when it comes to coming up on a scene. You don't know, you'll be dealing with somebody biting or someone spitting or someone doing something.
Or bees chasing you.
Yeah, everything else. Yeah, to a hornet's nest.
I seen on TikTok yesterday, I was watching this gorilla, and he's down in the pen, and it's an up deal, and they're looking down at him, and he's got his water and everything. He's down there, and he's dancing. And all of a sudden, he just throws up a thing of poop, and it lands right on a lady in the stand. And I said, you know what? We've been there in this job where we've had that same kind of...
Look, they're dancing, and then there's poop in your face.
Yeah, look at that.
It's all fun and games until someone gets poop in their face.
I'd rather be spit on than that happen. But I was thinking of that when I was watching that. I've seen that happen.
As far as obviously the cold and stuff, have you all been dealing with some service calls overnight of people dealing with heat issues or anything like that, or has everyone been pretty good?
Yeah, it's been pretty good.
Good. Of course, tonight's gonna be the real cold night.
Probably, I think one of the big things right now is just water faucets popping.
Yeah, I imagine a few of those service calls. And
you got big things like that. But other than that, for us, this keeps people at home, which increases domestic violence.
Sure.
So
and there's going to be alcohol flowing,
during the
marijuana flowing,
and you know what? And
more so the alcohol with the fighting.
Alcohol,
and so you have people who have off today or off on Monday, depending on which one they get for Christmas, or both. Yeah. So, and we love Christmas time, and we're all festive, and we like being a part of it. But man, our domestic violence calls just go out of the roof.
2 days.
This is the worst time of the year for that stuff.
It really
is. It's
suicides.
Is this typically your busiest time of the year? Is during the holidays, as far as just
between
call ratio and stuff? Is
a little
that
after New Year's,
Thanksgiving, and
it's just and obviously with mental health and the holidays bring certain type of feelings to people. It is. So look out for each other. That's big. Keep an eye out. But like you said, let's Especially with the weather being what it is, and of course it's going to be a little nicer during the actual Christmas weekend here. But
but to get there is going to be a little cold.
But please remember this stuff, and just and also understand too that for law enforcement, domestic violence situations are arguably the most dangerous calls that they make typically.
Yep, they really
because it really is. At least when you go to a shootout, you kind of know where everything's going and what's going on. At least you got an angle. With the domestic violence, you have no idea what you're walking into.
You don't know who the victim or the aggressor is.
Yeah,
and or if you do know, and you go to arrest the person that's the aggressor. Sometimes the victim will jump on your back to protect them.
Yeah.
And it's just...
Don't treat them like that. It's like, well, you just did.
Well, and with Christmas and Thanksgiving, it's more... people are happy to see each other, but then they're ready for you to be gone.
Oh, yeah.
They're in domestic violence.
We've missed you so much. Leave.
Comes up.
There's a reason why I haven't seen them since last Christmas.
There's a reason why National Lampoons came out with the Christmas Vacation, right?
I was sitting there.
Cousin Eddie.
I was sitting there watching the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory yesterday and with the grandkids, and one of the things is that gobstopper, that's Christmas. You give one kid one extra present or a family member an extra present.
And it's all downhill from there.
Gosh, it's bad.
You just open the floodgate.
Yeah, it goes bad. And we see all kinds of things. Just you get there and you're like, what's going on? It's got to be something bad. And it's something just so ridiculous. That,
to us, but to them, it's
serious.
To them, it's something
but to them, it's real. He walked in my house without taking his shoes off.
Yeah.
Man, what?
The silliest thing.
But the reality of it is that's something. So that's what I teach, and just like he just said, that's what I teach all my deputies. Every call you go on, you have to take it as though it is serious, because to them it is.
Absolutely.
And so when you get there, but you're just thinking when you leave, sometimes you're like, man, they were fighting over that on Christmas.
And that's half the battle that law enforcement faces. It's not to arrest people; it's just to say, okay,
just to keep the peace.
Remember, guys, you're arguing over pie here. Is it really worth all this? Can we all just calm down?
Yeah. Can you just
get through the night here?
They're leaving tomorrow.
And we actually had a call where they were arguing over, he didn't take his boots off when he came in, tracked all this mud, and there we are standing in the house looking at each other like this. Ooh.
We all got our boots on.
We've got we're about to get jumped. We're about to get jumped here.
But see some rolling pins.
We have to fight our way out of here in a minute.
But it's
very
crazy
true,
time.
though.
Emotions run high.
Sure.
You have people who have
and sadness.
It's sadness,
and that's just it too. It's all these arguments aren't about the pie. They're not about the shoes. It's about the underlying issues of mental health, and
or they haven't
it's
seen
about
each other
cousin
in a
Eddie
year.
not doing something 20 years ago.
Yeah, they haven't seen each other in a year, and they've been waiting for that time.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they get a few drinks in them, and they say, last February,
the airing of the grievances begin.
10 months ago, exactly.
They start combining their Festivus things with the other.
And then the swinging starts.
That's right.
Yeah, the question why now always seems to be the leading factor. They're like, well, I came to your house for Christmas. Well, why now?
Yeah.
I got you something for
It's the only
Christmas.
time I
why
see
now?
you.
Yeah.
Why is it changed now? And rather than accepting the change, they're mad about that it hasn't happened before.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
and then you guys walk right in the middle of that,
we
and
walk
you're
in the
just like,
middle, and
you're just like, we're dealing with 10 years
They never
of
come to visit.
pent-up
Well, they're here
feelings.
now.
Yeah.
That's why I like that Dallas Cowboys play on Thanksgiving, because I can walk in a house and just start talking garbage about the Cowboys, and it turns all the direction away from each other and towards us.
So they either agree with you or defending the Cowboys.
That's right.
Usually they want to now.
I'm like that.
They
What is
redirect
going on? Yeah,
It's deflection. It deflects all the anger towards us.
So that's why I said everyone's like, man, I wish they would change the teams that play on Thanksgiving. Oh no, not me. Because when we go into a house,
that's an icebreaker.
It is really. I'm like, oh my gosh, who's watching the Cowboy, or whatever?
Unless you're a Giants fan like me, and then this last Thanksgiving, I was like this. Well, well.
As a Washington fan, I've had those years myself.
Yeah.
Every year's one of those at some point.
But we're able to use things like that to change direction for a short period of time and
deflect the
that
anger.
helps. Yeah. So, but it's good, and I'll tell you right now, one of the things, and you've seen this, here in Chaves County, every single holiday that we have, the community just steps up.
Yeah.
We have had people coming in and giving us toy donations. And
I've seen a lot online. Yeah, a lot of donations,
so we've
pictures.
Been, so we've been giving those out, and people ask, "Oh, are you going to set up somewhere and give them out?" No, we give them out as we go.
Yeah,
it's
the icebreakers for a lot of these domestic violence
really
calls
is.
and things because 9 times out of 10 there's kids involved or they're not involved, but they don't know what's going on, and so these toys, these things that you guys donate, all that goes to those kids during those times to kind of de-escalate for them. While the officers deal with the adults and get the situation handled.
Yeah. The kids are right in the middle.
We are so blessed here in Chaves County and all of southeastern New Mexico. I'm seeing it in Eddy County and Lee County and also in Lincoln County that people are just continuously coming in and giving stuff and
you guys give it out to everybody. Like see the homeless on the streets and things like, hey, you need some food. Hey, they donated some stuff. Here's some water. Here's some food.
And that's the big thing. Water. Believe it or not, when it's cold, people think, "Oh, well, what are you giving them water for?" Dehydration.
Yeah.
It occurs in the winter.
Your body's made up mostly of it. You need it.
And so when someone comes to bring us like food, we'll tell them if they're wanting to have that as a donation, we'll tell them give that to St. Peter's Church or give it to Enrique with the disaster relief.
Yeah.
Doing
Roswell
a great
Refuge
job.
is a good place.
Roswell Refuge is a good one. Even, like I said, CASA and CYFD.
Homeless Coalition.
They know of families that may need that kind of stuff. And but for us, we really do reach out and we listen and see where people are coming from. We can't get you everything, but we might be able to point you in the right direction.
That's generally what it is. It's like, okay, if I don't have it directly on my person. Then let's make a call. Let's see if we can get someone in it. We'll get you a bed here, or we'll find someone that can take you in, or here's an organization that helps people. Maybe they can get you a hotel room for the night. Whatever it is, you guys are kind of that conduit. When if you can't directly put them in that position, hey, can I give you a ride to a relative's house or something like that? Then you put them in touch with the organizations that can go in and do some deeper help with these folks.
Right. So we are busy with that. The churches have been great. I go to church on the move, and one of the things like this whole weekend, starting tonight, tomorrow, and then tomorrow night, and then on Sunday morning at 8:00, they're doing a show where it's kind of like a Christmas show.
Yeah.
And gets everybody something to go do and get you out of the house for a little while.
Based on all of the stuff they do in the past, they go over the top with really fun and entertaining.
They really do.
Kids and the whole family's involved.
And the other churches are doing the same thing here. And so really does help out. And we're glad to be a part of that.
The one thing I've noticed is slowed down this year, and that's just because Christmas is on a Sunday, is we're not having as many midnight masses, I've noticed this year, because everyone will be going to church normal time Sunday because it's normally Sunday and Christmas.
So, versus midnight on Sunday night.
Yeah, so I think there's one or two that are doing it, but not like where it's every church would have it's a little different this year.
Like us at Church on the Move, we're doing 8:00. And the reason you do 8:00 is that way you can get home, have Christmas dinner. But, the biggest thing is you got to have Jesus on Christmas Day.
Well, that's the whole reason we're celebrating Christmas.
So we're glad that the churches are accommodating times, but we'd go if it was a regular time.
Sure.
But it's one of those things that for us is to go there and be able to be blessed and thankful and everything that we are, and then go and spend time with the family. Might have a better attitude by the time that time comes, So
absolutely.
It'd be good. So it'd be good.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be good.
And maybe mitigate some of the stuff that you guys have to come and take care of later that day or the day before,
Usually the evening of.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So we've had a lot of things happen this year where people have lost individuals and in their family, and we've all been in that realm, and it's always good to be able to see family outside of the dinner after the funeral.
Sure.
So when you can do it during a festive time, I think it's better, even though Some of it is closer to Christmas time, and you're still grieving and everything. But and we just had my Janet, my sheriff's administrator. She lost her sister here just recently, and one of the things I told her is you gotta get back into this, and your family's really counting on you for Christmas, and you're gonna have to get that out, get that.
Your sister would want you to live your life and do your thing, and not weigh down with her grief and loss. She would want you to serve the family, to keep doing your thing. You know,
and so that's exactly right, and that's one of the things that we're trying to tell the people that we're dealing with during their times of depression and other things that we're dealing with is, you have to somehow get back on the track of living life.
Right. Yeah.
You've got to live life, and you can grieve and you can do everything, but you have to get back to living life and
well, it's just human nature.
Yeah.
Idle hands is the
Oh,
devil's
you're darn
workshop.
right.
It just is. Your
Get out
brain
of
starts
that bed.
stirring, it starts thinking, and you start over-analyzing things, and next thing you know,
Mind
things
is the most powerful thing you have.
overhyped or overinflated or over-analyzed the situation, and then it went from something that you're sad about to now that's consumed you into nothing else.
Spiral.
Yeah.
The worst thing you can do is go lay down.
Yeah.
When you go lay down and you get in that bed, you don't get out of that bed, and you're completely, and we're seeing this, the depression just sinks in even more. And that's what scares me about this time of year. People think, I don't have any family, I don't have this, I don't have that. You got to be a blessing to others.
Sure.
You don't need to have anything. You need to get out there and be a blessing to others yourself, and but you got to get out of that bed.
Well, and
get
make
up.
it, people, this is why giving is what heals people. When you go and do work to others, serve others, make other people feel better, that tends to kind of rub off on you and give you self-worth and self-value and appreciative. It's when you do something nice for someone and they are very appreciative of them, that makes you feel good. And that's the kind of stuff that heals you, that kind of helps those wounds scar over a little bit.
And if you have a neighbor or somebody that you know, especially close to where you live, and they don't have any family, stop by, drop them something off. It's the littlest things that mean a lot.
Absolutely.
It's just those little. It's amazing, when you have a neighbor that just doesn't have anybody anymore because they've reached an age where they've outlived everybody. And you stop by and you drop them something off, and and then they invite you in, and it becomes a whole conversation that it just perks them up.
Random acts of kindness are probably some of the most, and this is my opinion, I think the strongest blessings you can, because let's face it, we do things for people we love, and we do it, and one could argue you love them. There is a selfish reason for that, and so I'm not saying it. I'm just saying. But one can make that argument where if you're just doing something nice for a neighbor, or someone you barely know or don't know at all, and you're doing it just because you want to, that's unconditional love. That's just being and so. It in some circles, in many circles, it's such a more powerful gesture. You kind of expect your loved ones to look out for you because that's your loved ones, and that's what you do.
Instead of buying me a gift, spend some time with me.
Yeah.
Slow down. Don't text.
Yeah.
Talk.
Exactly.
Visit.
Well,
exactly.
That goes to being a servant, and that's one of the things that I tell the deputies here at the sheriff's office. In law enforcement, we're servants. And our main job is to go out there and serve this community. Protecting, like I've always said, what's going to be there.
Yeah.
These guys, they're ready to do that.
Sure.
To serve you have to be taught that and also really want to do that.
Sure.
And so for us, that's one of the things that we're working on. And you talk about a job that the word thank you doesn't come often.
You're right.
You can go out there, you can do things. But we don't do it for the thank yous. We do it because we're a servant.
Sure.
And so as we go out there and we're doing what we do, you see the results of what you've done. That's the thank you.
Sure.
You don't have to be told that or get the pat on the back or any of that stuff. And that's one of the things that we talk about with our new hires that we bring on.
Plant the seed in the community.
If you're looking at being patted on the back and thanked and everything else, you're in the wrong
This
job.
is the wrong job.
You're in the wrong job. But if you're willing to be a servant and go out and do things for people that you don't know, this is the job for you.
Well, and
that's important.
And the rewards will come.
Oh,
You
they
know,
will.
That
Yeah.
you know,
Sure.
and we have a great community. All the time I see people buying lunches, meals, and
Oh, yeah.
for
No,
officers,
there's no
law
doubt.
enforcement. We have a great community. But you're right.
We do.
If you're thinking I want to be a cop because so people give me free stuff, then you probably
Wrong-
aren't going to be a very
wrong
good
job.
cop. Yeah.
No,
exactly.
and I will tell you, the people of this community are fantastic. You can look at this Billy right here.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
I think you earned a little that on his own.
But I will tell you this: they
We
bring
have
us,
been blessed.
they bring us stuff, and they bring us food, and we are taken very good care of, and so
Absolutely.
But I will say that when you get used to the good, and then there is a comment that is not good, it can knock you to your knees.
Absolutely.
So we have to tell people, hey, in the reality of things, we are blessed in our community.
Yep.
But in the reality of things, and if you look across this country, the rest of them aren't experiencing that.
Yeah,
The
that's true.
police are being
Especially
kicked
back
around.
east.
We are. You're right.
So we are truly blessed, and unless you've experienced or seen that firsthand, you really don't know how good you have it.
Yep. You're
And
right.
So that's one thing I can say. We have it very well.
Absolutely.
Very good.
Well, we're out of time. It's 9:00, and
Well,
I'd
thank
like
you,
to
and-
keep going, and I want to keep
We,
talking. But
we appreciate it.
guys, thank you very much. Tell every deputy and their families we thank them for their service to our community, and
Absolutely.
God, keep them. God bless them. Keep them all safe, and we the public appreciate them, and I know they don't always see it.
Well,
but we
this,
do.
during this holiday time, we want to stress again to everybody to be safe, watch your driving, use defensive driving,
Yep.
watch your surroundings,
And-
don't fall for
Yeah.
the scams. Remember your debit card.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't leave it on the
And
counter.
just because the weather's bad doesn't mean they're not going to be out looking for impaired driving.
Lock your vehicles and do not leave them running with the door unlocked.
And don't text and drive.
And don't text and drive.
That's right.
Or
That's
drink
it.
and drive.
Yeah, or drink and drive.
Yeah.
I mean, but we're almost at the point where the texting and driving's a bigger
It
problem
really
than drinking
is.
and driving.
It's amazing.
It
They'll
is.
ask you texting.
Yeah.
It has actually become even more dangerous than
Number one.
because it's,
Because
the
it's more
number
people
one.
doing it, and most people think
Yeah.
I'll just do it for a second, and guess what?
Everybody
That's
has a
when you
phone.
wrap your car around
Yep.
something bad. Yeah.
That is right. So
Well, Merry Christmas,
Merry
gentlemen.
Christmas.
Merry
Thank
Christmas.
you
Merry
guys.
Christmas to Chaves County.
And we'll
And
see you here in a few
everybody.
weeks.
Absolutely.
All right.
We shall
Hopefully
see you.
with happy stories.
See you in the
Yes,
new.
we'll be
see you
ready.
next year.
That's right. We'll see you in the new year, in the
yeah,
future.
that's right. And
They're going to have their hover cop cars coming in.
yeah,
Not quite that far.
but
Be
you-
nice.
It would be cool, though. You know.
But-
It'd be
We have to
great
worry about the
parades.
ice, right?
Yeah, it'd be great parade.
But we will be out in numbers, and then come New Year's Eve, we're going to be out there in numbers again.
Oh, yeah.
So just so people know, starting tonight, we'll have deputies out, more deputies out. We're going to have people out tomorrow. Really, with the weather and everything else, we're
Just
doing a lot of
making
things.
sure
so-
everyone's in good shape out
Right.
there, keeping everybody safe out
Yep,
there.
absolutely.
That's it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Little McDonald's in there if you want to grab
All
before you go.
right.
And,
Just the coffee.
Yeah. By the way, I tried their holiday pie. If your next shift, you all get middle light, need something warm, hit you up one of the McDonald's holiday pies.
Oh, that's going to be good.
pretty good.
We need to buy
Bad
it.
for your business, but
Yeah, bad
it
for
warms the
business.
cockles
Well,
of
and
your
then,
heart.
and then it probably disappears after the holiday,
Yeah.
and then you're jonesing for it.
Exactly.
Right,
Around
yeah,
February, you're
yeah.
like, give me some holiday pie.
Yeah.
The guy that's buying a case and freezing them.
It's like one of your crackheads that come out. Oh, man. Well, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
It is 9:02. Let's get you into Town Hall News in progress.
Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult with your financial advisor before investing.
Researchers have been studying a translucent species of frog that's quite adept at camouflaging itself. Scientists say their work could lead to major medical advances.
The glass frog, a nocturnal species native to South and Central America, gets its name from its almost transparent skin, which allows the heart and intestines to be clearly seen. But when sleeping, the amphibian is able to siphon off up to 90% of its red blood cells into its liver. The organ is lined with crystalline particles which reflect light and make the creature almost invisible in its rainforest habitat. Scientists say this ability to seemingly condense or expand its red blood cells at will with no negative effects could have major implications for controlling bleeding and clotting in humans.
The BBC's Kat Wiener. Ukrainians hail President Zelensky's wartime visit to the U.S. as a success, while Russian officials say it's only adding fuel to the fire of the ongoing conflict. News and analysis at townhall.com. Tesla offering rare discounts through year's end on its 2 top-selling models.
It could be an indication that demand is slowing for its electric vehicles. The Austin, Texas company started offering a $3,750 incentive on its Model 3 sedan and Model Y SUV on its website earlier this month, but has doubled the discount to $7,500 for those who take delivery between now and December 31st. The move comes ahead of a new federal tax credit of up to $7,500 that's scheduled to take effect January the 1st. John Scott reporting.
Microsoft planning to challenge an attempt by the Federal Trade Commission to block the tech giant's planned $68.7 billion takeover of video game company Activision Blizzard. The FTC has filed suit against the proposed deal. Wall Street, the Nasdaq down 61 points. The S&P is off 4. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tracing Viernos.
Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Friday. The eve of Christmas Eve.
Merry Christmas Eve, everybody.
Yes. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day. Maybe spending it with family or hitting the road to travel to a place with family. If you are, be careful. Safe driving out there. Consult the NM roads before you head out. Download the app or go to the website and make sure your path to your destination is in good shape there and no issues, or you can plot and plan accordingly if there are. So just a little planning and you'll be all right.
This is one of those. It's weird doing Christmas kind of this way, but like I'm gonna be with my kids on Christmas morning. I'm gonna go over and celebrate Christmas with them, but I'm not gonna have them from this weekend. So like the lead up to Christmas, all like the Christmas Eve traditions. Like my dad used to always gather us around in the living room and he'd read the Christmas story.
Sure.
From the Bible.
So you're gonna go somewhere, hang out with some folks?
I'm probably just gonna be spending it with some friends.
Okay.
Like I said, I'll go over Christmas morning and do the unwrap thing and hang out with them at Mom's house for Christmas morning. But yeah, it's just gonna be a quiet weekend.
You're gonna be eating cakes and cookies at
Let me rephrase that. It's gonna be a quiet weekend with the exception of I have to get all of my Christmas shopping done.
Yeah.
So
well, except for the ones you are done.
Yeah.
So basically, you're gonna be over at Misty's eating all her cakes. And
pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
It's a good place to be.
She whipped up a one of those. Her new creation is it's called a sopapilla cheesecake.
Ooh, that sounds good.
It's phenomenal.
So is it like a sopapilla but full of cheesecake?
It's like a cheesecake flavored like a sopapilla.
Oh,
so it's got that kind of like that flavor. But what she found is, so Cinnamon Toast Crunch has really been stepping up their other products game.
Yeah, they have done a lot of other things that aren't
outside of cereal.
Yeah,
they have now, and I think you can probably find it in the same aisle you get like peanut butter and stuff. Spreadable. It's Cinnamon Toast Crunch spread,
like a Nutella spread, but
like
tastes like cinnamon toast.
It tastes like cinnamon sugar and awesome.
Yeah, so it's cinnamon sugar in a paste form?
A spread, basically.
Yeah, spread form.
It's so good.
A butter, if you will.
But yeah, this sopapilla cheesecake, I had to be stopped. They were like, "You've had enough." I'm like, "I don't think I have."
Well, when you said it, and the Philadelphia cheesecake or whatever it is, the commercials they keep showing on TV. Have you seen these?
I haven't.
So there's a series of a couple of them, but there's one where it's like a big fancy dinner, and they got this, the family sitting around for the holiday meal, and it's like, and they're saying, and the whole premise is everything is cheesecake, and it's like everything is cheesecake, and it shows these people, and they're like eating a pastry, but it's actually cheesecake, and then they're cutting the cheesecake, but the whole plate, everything is cheesecake.
Really?
And so when you said the soup, I was like, "Oh, is it like a soup? But it is cheesecake."
See, that's the move, though. You should make this cheesecake filling, and then you fill it, and you make sopapillas and put the cheesecake filling into the sopapillas.
Yeah,
that's the move.
So it reminded me of that commercial. Where like everything is cheesecake.
Everything is cheesecake.
So interesting, very good. But by the way, I'm going to eat that whole pie by myself.
Yeah.
My wife was informed yesterday. I'm having, because I haven't had one since I think I was a lad, a chocolate pecan pie. I've had pecan pie, but I haven't had a chocolate pecan pie in a long time. Do we have guests in there? What's going on?
Oh, I think it's just the sheriff still.
Oh, okay. I just
commiserating.
I just heard a bunch of people. I didn't know if someone was waiting or we're all good. Good. Okay, I just want to make sure I didn't want to mess anything up here.
Mike's hearing voices again.
as one does.
The voices have started again.
As one does. But where was I? I was talking about something. I just got spaced out now.
We were just talking about like
the cheesecake thing, but then I can't remember where I was taking that.
Oh, well. Chocolate pecan pie.
Oh, yes, the chocolate pecan pie. So I haven't had it in years. It's been a long time. And so when I saw that Misty was making chocolate pecan pies for Thanksgiving, I'm like, I want one of those. And so I told Sean, I want one. And they were thinking they need it for Christmas, but I'm leaving today. I'm like, no, I don't need it now. I'll need it like maybe next week. My wife does not like nuts in any way, shape, or form. She doesn't eat them. She's not allergic to them. She just doesn't
not a
like
fan.
the taste of
That
them.
makes sense.
So I got a whole chocolate pecan pie, and I'm going to eat every sliver of it myself.
Every last bit.
And I might even do it in one session. I'm just kidding. I won't do that.
Just like Savage.
That's right.
Eat it like a hand.
That's right. I got just like
a hand pie.
Like when you got those Church's pecan pies. I'm just going to do that, but with the full size one as a chocolate pecan pie. By the way, one of my dad's. You're talking about your dad, but like my dad's fetish fix, whatever you want to call it, were those pecan pies from Church's Chicken.
See,
because I would get into his car and I'd go to in the back seat. There'd be a half dozen of those tins sitting there in the floorboard from the many pies he had destroyed on his way home from work every day.
I learned about these too late. Church's Chicken had a chicken pot pie, hand pie.
That size like those little pecan pies?
Yep. And it was phenomenal. And I didn't find out about it until like a week before they closed.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a bummer.
It was $1 a piece for like the best lunch in the world.
You know what you could get? They're pretty good. I've only seen them at Albertsons.
Okay.
In the frozen food section, there's these Australian meat pies called Boomerang.
Okay.
And they have a beef and potato one.
I think I have seen these, yeah.
They have a chicken pot pie one. I feel like there's a buffalo chicken one. There's like four different ones.
I think I have seen these at Albertsons.
I've had two of the flavors, and I enjoyed them.
And they're shaped just like a normal chicken pot pie.
Yeah, they're about yay big. They're slightly bigger than the Church's ones, but not as big as a pot pie.
Right.
Like a banquet or something.
Meat hand pies are a huge thing, everywhere but here.
Well, Australia, they're very huge.
Right.
That's I when I was there as a teenager.
Yeah, got mistaken bacon.
Yeah, and they love that beef and potatoes are like a big thing. Yeah, and they're not bad for a little snack, lunch or something like that.
Yeah,
they're pretty good. And you just throw them in the microwave for like 2 or 3 minutes.
I feel like of all of the countries where a meat pie would be a thing, it would be America. Like, you'd think that we would embrace a pie filled with meat more than any other country.
Yeah.
What sounds more American than a meat pie?
Well, what we do it to it is turn it into this
hamburger.
Yeah. And then they load it up with ketchup and all kind of stuff.
Sure.
We'd ruin it. It'd look flaming hot Cheetos they put on us.
Now, hold on. Before you judge, you got to try it first.
I understand, but you're just like, do we have to just make everything look like a 7-year-old did it?
Well, because you said it, and then I'm like, actually, that sounds delightful.
It's like not everything needs flaming hot
handful
Cheetos.
of Flamin' Hots crunched up in there. That's bussin', as the kids say these days.
Although, I judge. Last night, I had a hanker for a turkey sandwich. So I made me a turkey sandwich.
Did you
I didn't have any chips.
Okay.
I put pretzels on there.
Oh.
It was great.
Really, though?
It was delicious.
I don't know.
The salt on the pretzels with the mayo and the turkey, and it added a layer that I dug. I dug it.
I'd have to try it. It just pretzel. It's a different consistency than chip.
It worked for me.
It doesn't crunch the same.
It had a good crunch, but the little salt crystals with the bread and the turkey and the mayo, it made a little happy feeling inside. I do like it.
Okay, so maybe just a little salt on your next turkey sandwich might.
Yeah, but you need like the grain salt, like the big
like
pretzel
the finishing salt.
Yeah. Not quite soft pretzel salt, but whatever they put on like rolled gold pretzels.
It makes me so angry, by the way.
Uh-huh.
The company that makes the super pretzels,
yes,
the freezer pretzels,
yes.
Can you guys please, if you listen to this show, cool, put more than one pack of salt in the dang thing? Because I open it to salt one of my pretzels, and I'm like, what do I do with this now open bag of salt?
Yeah.
Do I just put it in a container?
Gotta save it for the other 5.
Yeah.
I get you.
I don't have small containers for my pretzel salt.
Although I don't use so much of that salt. I'm not a fan of it.
No?
I'd rather just salt it with regular salt. And
No, see,
in the microwave.
I like
or
those big
toaster
grains.
oven. Yeah. My problem is they don't know the proper ratio. They either put none on it or 80 pounds. And I'm like, I don't want none, but I don't want 80 pounds of it either.
Yeah.
I don't want it to where every bite of the pretzel, all I taste is salt. Because that's how they usually do it.
Yeah.
It's like, that's too much salt.
I would agree that there's a line.
Yeah.
Lightly salted is definitely the way to go. But now the question is, with your like soft pretzels, do you go cheese or do you go mustard?
I am an equal opportunity.
Okay.
I love them equally. I will. If you give me mustard, I'll be happy. If you give me cheese, I will be happy. Being from the East Coast and everything, I grew up on mustard.
I way prefer mustard. It's weird. I like cheese on most things, but on pretzels, mustard is by far the best.
I love both. I legitimately like them either one, and I'm good either way. Sometimes I prefer the warm cheese with the warm pretzel, but the mustard I love too. So
it also irritates me most of the time when you get like cheese from a place. It's like cheese whiz consistency.
Yeah.
It's never the right.
It's got to be a better cheese.
Yeah, I need like queso if I'm going to do cheese.
Yeah, you need to cheese up your game. So we got to probably do our interview. So big thank you to McDonald's.
Indeed. Speaking of pretzels.
Speaking of know what to do with their cheese, they know what to do with their cheese.
Boy, do they know what to do with their cheese.
And by the way, try the cheese Danish this morning if you're looking for something, a delightful treat from McDonald's that maybe you haven't had before. Get you a cheese Danish. Make it a Christmas tradition.
Yeah.
Get you a cheese Danish and a holiday pie.
And they do Danish right.
They do. They do. It's a tasty Danish.
I've had a dry Danish. I've had ones that were just like, meh. McDonald's does their Danish good.
They went and did their Danish research. They went to Danish.
They're Great Danes.
Yes. Wow, what a Great Dane. But big thank you to McDonald's, and swing by any of your McDonald's this morning or on your way to traveling or to your families or whatever you got plans for the holiday weekend.
Yes, indeed.
So, it is 18 minutes after 9 o'clock. Let us get you up to date on the weather. It's going to be cold. There's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll be staying very cold today with that Arctic air moving into eastern New Mexico. Mix of sunshine and clouds. Our high this afternoon only in the mid-20s and our wind chill 5 to 10 below. Overnight, partly cloudy and single digits, and then not quite as cold on Saturday. We'll warm up to about 40 with sunshine. Clear Saturday night, Christmas Day, low 50s and sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 14 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 30%. Winds currently out of the east at 5 miles per hour with wind chill. Feels like 6 degrees out there. We do have the wind chill advisory in effect through 11 a.m. this morning, but it's going to be cold all day. Partly cloudy, high of only 23 expected. Wind chill values as low as -5 in some places. Winds will be out of the south at around 10 miles per hour. For tonight, partly cloudy with an overnight low of 7. Winds will be out of the south at around 5 miles per hour. For your Saturday, warming up a bit, but still chilly, but not like today and tonight chilly. Sunny, high of 40 on Saturday. Wind chill values as low as -3 in some places with south winds 5 to 10. Saturday night, mostly clear, overnight low of 21. East winds at around 5 miles per hour. For your Christmas Day, sunny and 52. Winds will be out of the south 5 to 10. Christmas evening, mostly clear, overnight low of 29. And Monday, sunny skies, highs back near 60, 59 there. And we're going to be in the low 60s Tuesday, upper 60s and breezy Wednesday, 62 on Thursday. So warmer week with a slight chance of rain maybe Wednesday night here, but at least for right now. But get through the next day or two here and things start to warm up a little bit. All right, it is 20 minutes after 9. We're going to take a 2-minute commercial break, and then we're going to play our interview we had earlier in the month with Robert Sherman from the Walker Aviation Museum. Give us an update on what's happening there. So we're going to play that next. On the other side, don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
There are 3 key phrases that need to be spoken on a regular basis in a healthy marriage. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage.
You know, for over 20 years, Julie and I have been sharing these 3 key phrases, and here they are. I love you, I'm sorry, and I forgive you.
Ephesians 4:32 says, be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as in Christ, God forgave you.
You know, it's so easy to expect others to love us, to say I'm sorry, and to forgive us. But you know, it's really a gift that we give each other. You know, the Bible teaches us we sow and we reap. Sow into your spouse, I love you, I forgive you, I'm sorry. And then you'll reap a harvest in return. Someone has to start the process. Let that be you today so you can really enjoy your marriage.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
Edge Safety and Services LLC in Artesia, New Mexico has an immediate opening for a safety technician. Position requires a clean driving record and must be able to pass a drug and alcohol screen. Edge Safety offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contribution towards health benefits. Please email resumes to edgecoding@yahoo.com or apply in person at 402 West Main Street inside the Edge Safety and Services facility. Edge Safety and Services LLC is an equal opportunity employer.
It takes a long time to develop trust. At LaGrone Funeral Chapel, they've been earning your trust for decades. They understand how important it is to friends and family to celebrate a life in the way you choose. The professionals at LaGrone will ease your stress and anxieties. They'll provide the guidance you need to select a service that's appropriate. And that's what they've been doing for generations, earning your trust and doing the right thing. LaGrone Funeral Chapel and Crematory, 900 South Main in Roswell. Online at LaGroneFuneralChapels.com.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Sigmund Freud once believed that cocaine could be used to help treat a morphine addiction. Mike used bacon to get over his addiction to beef. Here's Mike Winters.
Morning. It is 21 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Walker Aviation Museum, Robert Sherman back with us. Morning, sir. How you doing today?
I'm okay. Hanging in there.
Doing good. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was good.
Good. Did y'all go out of town or just have a little thing?
Went across the street with some neighbors.
Wow. So quite the trek.
Yeah. I got a neighbor that's a great neighbor, and he Joy's cooking, so we took the drinks over, all kinds of different iced teas and fruit juices for the kids. And
made a little celebration there.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be nice.
We had a good time.
Yeah, was there enough to take home a few leftovers?
Yes.
Good. That's the important part.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, for folks that aren't familiar, the Walker Aviation Museum, which is located in the air terminal at the airport there, is a museum that dedicates itself to exposing the history of the Air Force Base. They call that area home, Roswell Army Airfield, and then Walker Air Force Base. Also covers our role in the Cold War era. The missile silos that littered this part of the country during the Cold War era. They also share the history of that too. So it's really cool. So hopefully folks have seen it at least once or twice. But if you haven't, I invite you to go check it out sometime. So
yeah, we are right now, just like we have for the last month or two, try to be open Monday through Saturday for about 2.5 hours at least prior to the midday plane departure.
Gotcha.
Right now it's departing around 10 minutes till 1 in the afternoon, so we're open about 11:30 or so.
Okay.
Until about 2 o'clock.
Okay.
And but so we get the people that are coming in from Dallas that are returning. Once the plane lands, about 30 minutes. By that time, the people that are getting ready to depart are already checked through TSA and they're waiting to board the aircraft.
Mm-hmm.
So we get that group initially, and then the last few minutes before that we're open until the whole terminal clears out.
Right.
There's no reason to stay open at that time. But we do that. So we have several things that be interesting. We want to talk about today. Had some improvements made to the museum.
Oh yeah.
And we also Juliana Halverson. Better known by us as the Energizer Bunny. She
city councilor.
She put city councilor, all kinds of stuff. IT marketing person for us. Anyway, she put a lot of stuff on our website. So I want to let people know they have really good access just by going to wafbmuseum.org.
Very good.
And clicking on education.
Okay.
And if you do it on the cell phone, the picture is a little bit different on your smartphone than it is on a big computer.
They lay it out a little different.
But you can get there and you open up your cell phone and you got these little bars up at the top in the right corner, I think, and you click on that and you get a choice of education, so you can click on that.
Okay. So the menu's a little different on the mobile version than if you go on a laptop or computer or whatever.
And we recently sent out, and I'll talk about that, some emails to lots of different educational folks in town. First email went out to about, it was 26 different addresses. The 7 principals of the 4 middle schools here in town, and as far as the Roswell Independent School District, and then 19 counselors that are involved with the schools, Roswell Independent School District. So we sent out this email that had an attachment of about 21 pages of reference stuff that we sometimes pass out to the teachers or pass out to the students when they come visit us for a 3-hour flight simulator career orientation program that we have. But now that is all on the website.
Okay.
And we are encouraging people just to use that information any way they want to, and that's why we send it out to the schools. And not only did we send that to Roswell Independent School District, then on Saturday, the 3rd of December, I sent out an email that went out to Sidney Gutierrez Middle School, Gateway Middle School and High School, Emmanuel Lutheran Middle School, New Mexico Youth Challenge, NIMI Dean of Academics, Roswell Assurance Home, Hagerman Middle School and High School, Dexter Middle School and High School, and the Superintendent of Schools in Artesia.
Oh, wow.
So they got all that information. But along with that, we said, hey, okay, this is good information here. You can pass this on, print it out, use it any way you want to help you do your job. Because if you're a counselor working with the kids, you might be able to say, hey, I'll take a little bit of this and add some of my stuff and kind of enhance what I was giving them or talking to them about.
Create more for their lesson. Yeah.
So,
and who knows, maybe they'll even want to set up a field trip or two to
Yeah,
have
yeah.
the class
And
come
the
out.
other thing is talking about what we have, because we do have those 2 flight simulators, and having 2 and being in a fairly small location, that's why we are kind of limited in numbers.
Sure.
Because we can't effectively, handle 30 kids coming in there. We can handle 8, and we could occasionally handle 12.
Gotcha.
But
anything
and sometimes
bigger than that's a
they've
little
done
bit
that
too
in the
much.
past, where they'll bring out, say, 24 kids, and half of them will go over to the university and look at the nursing program or whatever, some other stuff, while half of them come to see us for 2.5 hours,
Give
and
them
then they flip-flop.
I like that. That's
One
a great idea.
time, Brendel Middle School, I believe, did that, and they met halfway through and had sack lunches out on the front, out in the grass and stuff, and then they kind of like, okay, this group jump in the bus and go. We're going to go over to the university, and the other group come on in, and we'll.
It's perfect.
Do our little.
I think
thing.
I think there should be more of those.
Yeah, yeah.
I think every week they should have one of those going on. That'd be great.
Okay, so then this thing on the wafbmuseum.org, you can click on education.
Okay.
And then that will list all these information. What right now we've got is the YouTubes. You can't click on the title and it won't come up on the YouTube right now. However, when you get to the one page that has 38 videos of 12 hours of professional pilot training, you can click on those and it'll come right up and start playing that particular sequence, whether it's flight instruments or flight weather or whatever the subject is on that. And then we had a 3-page thing that we got off a website. It's called, 331 STEM careers. And you can click on those, and the student, it'll expand that particular subject to a full page of stuff and several things you can go to.
Okay.
It goes into great detail, and that's based off of a website that we found and Juliana's got that set up. So when you find that, now when I say when you find that, I initially had a problem finding it, and then she kind of had to squirm it away on how to find it. But you have to, if you open up on the computer, there's usually on the right-hand side after you click education, there's 3 color photos of Bob Donnell mostly and myself. I think you get the back of my head on that. But working with the kids on their flight simulators. And right above that is a little section that you can click on, and it talks about STEM. So you click on that little box, and then you get all that stuff pops up.
Nice. Good deal. So of course, teachers, STEM want to check it out, but really anybody that's got a hankering to want to learn some of this stuff, go to the www.wafbmuseum.org and then click on that education tab and check out some of these videos and all the stuff.
So then right there at the top on the right-hand side above those photos would be a block, another block that says comprehensive list of STEM jobs.
Okay.
And that's the one you click on. If you have your smartphone like I was using and I couldn't find it, you have to scroll all the way down to the bottom of all that data that we put there, and at the very end, the bottom of the smartphone are those photos with that block of comprehensive list of STEM jobs. So
Okay.
that's where you find that.
So it's just a little different depending on which
arrangement, the way
if
it
you use
pops
a
up on your
computer.
computer, right?
Good deal. But either way, it's all there. Come check it out when you get a chance, or if you're looking to, help inspire your kid to find some interests, maybe they'll find some through those videos.
And one of the things we have in there, and I know there's going to be people out there, that's why I put on here a partial list. It's we passed out, it's 13 pages of STEM jobs in the Roswell area. And over a period of many days of going through 3 phone books, I found those and I just typed them up. So if you're a young student or somebody living in Roswell and saying, well, what's there to do in Roswell? Well, there's 13 pages of STEM jobs.
That enough for you?
STEM-oriented type jobs that you can find in the Roswell area. And now Artesia could add theirs, but I didn't go into Artesia stuff.
Maybe next time.
Yeah.
But there's plenty in the region. That's
plenty of jobs in the region, just to kind of give you an idea of what's out there. So,
well, shoot. So let's face it, New Mexico's home to one of the most advanced places in the country, Los Alamos. Yeah. If you're looking to stay in the state of New Mexico, tech is kind of we do have the space. What is it? The Virgin Galactic Space, whatever one out in Tier C.
Right.
We got New Mexico's middle of nowhere, desert, but a lot of technology taking place here too.
Yeah, I was just finished reading a couple books. One was, and I recommended to the audience out there, if you're interested at all in World War II, Countdown 1945. That was with Chris Wallace. It was a #1 bestseller. It just came out. It was copyrighted 2020. And that is really easy to read book. Bob Donnell read it and said, this is one of the best books I've ever read. So I ordered it the same day and came in, and sure enough, it was really good. And I just loaned it to my barber because he reads a lot of books. Old Dwayne up there north, just on the north side of Office Max.
And
anyway,
the book's called 1945.
Countdown 1945.
Okay.
And it starts out like 116 days, blah, blah, blah. Then it goes down, like 92 days. It starts out the first page is when Truman finds out that Roosevelt died.
Gotcha.
And he got called to the White House. He goes, I guess what's that meeting? I only had 2 meetings with him since I came into, he came into office several months ago. And
that's what
he finds out like, I'm not having a meeting with him. I'm now the president of the United States,
And then shortly thereafter, he learns about the Manhattan Project.
Yeah, he learns about that. Yeah. And he talks about all the serious decision-making going into whether or not to use the atomic bomb or not.
Mm-hmm.
And the trade-off of, doing that. It was already pretty tough on the Japanese as far as the firebombing and stuff, but realizing how many casualties the Americans would suffer and how many casualties the Japanese would suffer over a period of an invasion of the homeland of Japan. So
well, and we knew that Japan, they've got a kind of a never surrender, never quit mentality. Which means
they were training the kids with sharp, long sticks to.
Yeah.
I mean, they were just training everybody to fight to the end.
And I know this doesn't sound right, but because of the decisions made by Truman to drop those 2 atom bombs, it saved thousands of lives.
Yeah.
I know it's hard to kind of wrap your head around that,
but you get from this book, it
did.
wasn't easy for Truman and for even other people. And a lot of the scientists had a lot of concerns about it.
Sure. Yeah, there was. This was a big. I've read enough of that area to know that it was a lot of thought and decision making before they ultimately did what they did. It wasn't just something all right, let's light them up. It was a lot of thought and studying the consequences and everything else.
Yeah, I'm just kind of finishing up the last few pages of the Enola Gay, which is a book. This particular one was copyrighted back in 1977, but it's also very interesting in some of the details and stuff going on with that. So.
I always wonder, because there's probably several different books on the Enola Gay and the crew and things, and I wonder if as they get newer, do they get more information, or is it rehashing a lot of the same info, or
just rearranging the way they present it.
Well, I imagine is I don't know if there's anybody still alive that's left from that era, but I imagine there's a few as they get closer to end of life. They're sharing
there's a few, but
sharing some details and things that they didn't share previously. So
speaking of the museum, thanks to Bob Donnell's idea, and he said we have on the south wall of our museum there, and again, we're located in the air terminal about 50 feet north of the TSA check-in area.
Yes.
So we're right there, and right there close to the little food court area.
You can't miss if you go through the main entrance, which is the middle. Yeah. You can't miss it.
We're
but
right
if you
on
come from either end, you got to kind of walk towards the middle there.
That's right. Yeah. But anyway, Bob, we have that reinforced concrete on the south wall, and trying to hang a picture with reinforced concrete is kind of tough. Anyway,
I understand. You should see this wall right here.
Yeah,
used to be the exterior wall of the J.P. White building. This is a red brick wall, and we found that out when we tried to drill in to hang these TVs. And it was not easy.
So what?
That's how we found out.
So out of the good graces of Steve Griffin, who, by the way, Steve had donated and mounted a whole bunch of professional weather equipment we have in there, because he was a long time in the military Navy weather guy, but he has a lot of the professional weather equipment there, and with a lot of little signs that describe what it is and stuff. But anyway, Steve came in, and Jim Williams, and they had a little gun. They used an actual .22 caliber bullet to to fire nails into the reinforced concrete.
Wow.
So we let the TSA and the security folks know that if you hear some gunshots going off, don't call, shots fired and whatever. But
nothing to alarm you here.
So anyway, they got a nice frame put up, and we got 5 4x8 pegboards, and we mounted that on that wall.
Oh, wow.
Now we can just, with little hooks, we can move pictures around all the way we want to. And we got a nice print that's signed by Tibbetts, the pilot of the Nola Gay. Nola Gay was his mother's name.
Mm-hmm.
But, and right underneath that is the actual navigator's log of the Hiroshima mission.
Oh, wow.
So if you're some, guy comes in, he's a former navigator, go, oh, look at that, and then we've got another thing that Bob Donnell just got framed. That's a weather picture that we're going to fly some, I think it was B-29s leaving Roswell in 47, and they were going to fly over New York City, Washington, D.C. and stuff, and then fly back.
Okay.
But it has this drawing all the way across of leaving Roswell and what all the high weather clouds, the drawings of the weather and stuff, of kind of like, oh, that's how they did that. It showed that, okay, when you get over Kansas City, this is what the clouds are going to be like, So anyway.
I wonder how accurate those were.
I don't know.
Like, how many of those did they actually could follow and it would make sense? Or
yeah, I don't know.
It was wrong there. No, it ain't right there either. So.
No, they got these clouds and they're over here. That's true. So anyway, we've got some of that stuff mounted. We got a lot of new pictures kind of hung up there, so it's still nicer. And again, thanks to Steve Griffin and Jim Williams
cool
coming out
pieces
there.
of history there that are now on display.
Yeah, and Jenna, the Land for the facility manager out there, she was happy with what we put up, and we put trim on it and everything, made it look really professional. So
cool.
They did a great job.
So next time you're out, please take a visit for that. If you're going out for lunch or got a flight or something, check those out while you're out there.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Good deal. Excellent. What else we got?
I talked to our old former president, Brigadier General Doug Murray. He reminded me, and I kind of like, oh, you're right. But he said, I want to remain a member of the board, but I'm in absentia. He's living now in Colorado Springs.
Yeah, I knew he moved out after retired. He moved out of the area.
And he was telling me this great story he had. He said a gentleman that lived about 2 doors down from him just passed away. He was 98 years old, but he said he wasn't using a walker, a really sharp guy, talking to him, and he came in the Air Force in 1940 and got out in 1971.
Oh, wow.
And he flew the B-17, B-29, B-36, and B-52s.
Wow.
And then later on in his career, he ended up being selected to go and help oversee the Minuteman missile program.
Oh, wow.
So he was.
So he did a lot in his 30 years
of. Why he ended up as a brigadier general, retired, but himself, and he was talking about various things about Walker. And I was at Walker. So he was at Walker, and he said, "Well, I used to, be the dean of academics at NIMI," and he says, "Oh, my son graduated from NIMI," and blah blah blah. And his son was there. He met him.
Small world, huh?
Small world, yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's
anyway,
pretty neat.
So anyway, and he just sent us a nice check. He's sending us a check to help, keep the doors open. Yeah,
he's still supporting it from his home in Colorado.
A couple $1,000, so that was great.
Yeah, that's very nice of him, and just shows his, why he's well admired, and why. Well, to be honest, his leadership is part of the reason we have the Walker Aviation Museum still today.
And one of the reasons that we get to pay the rent, I don't have Jenna Landford banging on my door saying, "Where's the money? Where's the money?" Yes, thanks to Pioneer Bank.
You got the super off your back.
Yeah, Pioneer Bank, Featherstone Development Company Corporation, Glenn Furniture's giving us some tables and stuff. 6th Bomb Wing Reunion Group, David Petroleum Company, and now Brigadier General Murray. And last year, and we're still working on stuff, Roswell Toyota and XL Energy and Aircell and other individual doctors and stuff in town have really been generous. So we really appreciate.
And if you'd like to support the Walker Aviation Museum, there's always, if you go to the website, wafbmuseum.org, you'll find a donate now there and ways to contribute that way. If you want to serve in a more physical capacity, like serve on the board or maybe even volunteer to be a docent from time to time or help out that way. You'll find the information to reach out and who to talk to there at the website as well. But I know always looking for some fresh faces to come and come be a part of the continuing of growing and nurturing the museum there. So.
Speaking of fresh faces, but I don't know if I'd exactly describe him as fresh face.
Fresh-ish.
It's Ted Smith. He was in here.
Oh, yeah, Ted's a great guy.
Yeah, Ted will he may be in here next month, my place. But he is a walking Energizer bunny when it comes to history of military.
He loves it.
Oh,
yeah.
man, he loves that. He just kind of lives that. So right now, he's doing most of the volunteering out at the museum, that 2.5 hours, but I'm usually out there on Friday and Saturdays and other time during the week. And then Bob Donnell's out there a day or 2 or 3. And we try to meet out there, all 3 of us, at least one day a week so we can kind of get our notes together.
Sure.
But so he's out there and he's deeply involved in right now on working a lot of the history of Walker Air Force Base, Roswell Army Airfield, whatever. And the missions that were assigned here, the aircraft that were assigned here. He's going through right now all the accidents and the aircraft and all kinds of stuff. Like, cool. How did that end up here? So he's really trying to get in and hopefully get that organized where we can put it out so that people can kind of get a snapshot picture of really what went on, especially back in the World War II period when Walker was training. He ended up, during that period, trained about 14,000 advanced pilot training with the double 2-engine aircraft and the bombardiers.
Oh, wow.
So that's why we have a few concrete bombs laying around that were dropped, people found around on the ranches.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's
those
what
inert, I did a lot with those back in my days in the military.
Yeah, okay.
I was a bomb loader. I dealt with those concrete things a lot. So I touched them all the time. We used to make fun of the guys that made them.
Speaking of that, if you read these books on the Enola Gay and this other one, these guys in 509th, they came out of Wendover, Utah. And a lot of people felt like, I thought the people the planes that dropped the bombs on, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Kokura was the primary target, but ended up being Nagasaki. But they came out of Wendover, and from Wendover to Tinian. And then when the war was over, the aircraft returned after the training was stopped here in Roswell and came back here, and this became a bomber base.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, those planes came from Roswell. No, they returned to Roswell, but they initially came out of Wendover, Utah.
Sure.
And then from there to Tinian.
A lot have been here, but didn't live here.
And there's a lot of last-minute fighting going on, and these books will expand on that. General LeMay, everybody knows who General LeMay was in SAC and stuff later on, but he was kind of convinced, as well as other people, that the atomic bomb should be dropped by the people that were already there in Tinian, not the 509th that came out of Wendover. And those planes were handpicked by Tibbets at the factory, and then at that point they were turned into what they call the silver plate aircraft. And he found out that when he was doing some testing that they were trying to maneuver, and he would go up against a bunch of P-47 fighters, and those fighters get out and maneuver him and stuff. But when they took 7,000 pounds of all the guns and ammunition out except for the tail gunner, that the plane could get up above 30,000 feet, and at that altitude he could outmaneuver the P-47 fighters.
Oh, wow.
So they decided to be safer. They're just going ahead and fly and try to drop the bombs above 30,000 feet. Now, also, if they're trying to drop the atomic bomb and it was set to go off at 1,860 feet above the ground, they would make a hard turn and pull a few G's on the aircraft. But anyway, they would try to get out of the way, and they needed to be at least 9 miles away before the bomb went off at almost 2,000 feet above the ground.
Okay.
So because of the shock, they didn't know for sure what was going to happen. The one on Hiroshima, that particular type and design of atomic bomb had never been tested. The one on Nagasaki was the same one tested north of Alamogordo out in the desert.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
So they were literally flying blind on that one. It was like, hopefully these numbers will compute, and if not, I guess we're crispy critters.
So Tibbetts was really fighting kind of with the folks there, and then they wanted to go ahead and get that finalized. So he took the operations officer up in the aircraft, and they went through a mission where they dropped the bomb and made the hard turns, and he was back there kind of pulling G's and like, holy crap. Holy Toledo.
Yeah.
But, this was a bad situation. So
he
said, okay, because General LeMay said, go ahead and get on the airplane and just go on a test flight with him and you'll see. And because LeMay wasn't totally convinced either. And when he came back, he said, definitely let Tibbetts and the 509 take care of this mission.
Got it.
So
they kind of had to prove their point to the brass and did so.
Yeah.
Interesting. You know, I know just bomber-related stuff. It was, since we're talking that history, you know, they, like you said, they released to the public the B-21 Raider just here over the weekend, and of course that Raider is named after the Doolittle Raiders. If the folks that aren't familiar, after Pearl
I missed
Harbor.
that on the news because I heard something about Doolittle. I said, "What's that have to do with that?"
Yeah, it's the plane is named after the Doolittle Raiders. Yeah, that's what it's all named after. Which they basically got and took off on bombers from aircraft carriers and stripped down for one run over Tokyo, and it was quite an amazing little feat that they pulled off. But anyway, it was all World War II history, kind of in that same era, which you're talking about with the bomb here. So.
And now the reason I kind of brought up that one story about the operations officer there at Tinian getting on that airplane and Tibbetts taking him up, that gentleman's name was Colonel William Butch Blanchard.
Okay.
He was the same one that was here at Walker as the wing commander when the 1947 incident occurred.
Okay.
And he's the first one that said, oh, that was a flying disc or something. So that's the connection to Roswell and to Walker.
Nice.
Because after that was over with at Tinian, he came back here as like you couldn't defeat him when you were fighting him off at Tinian. He came back here to become the wing commander of the 509.
Gotcha.
So anyway, it was
pretty cool.
Kind of an interesting connection there.
Yeah, it is. It is. So please, if you'd like to learn more about this stuff, love talking, and come out to the museum. That's the great thing too, is all three of you guys will sit and talk, stories about that stuff.
Yeah.
With people while they're there, if they're asking questions about, some of the World War II roles and things. All three of you guys will love to sit down and talk that stuff with folks too.
Yeah,
so.
and Ted was in several things with CE, with other stuff. He was in intelligence and all kinds of stuff. He starts talking about tanks, and he studied Army intelligence on how to deal with Russian tanks and or whatever.
He did a lot of things.
He knows all kinds of stuff.
He did a lot of things that some of us circles didn't get to be.
Every time he starts talking, I just start taking notes like, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's a very interesting guy, and to be honest, it's great for him too. Because, because I don't want to get too personal with him, but he's dealing with some issues from his time in the military.
That's right.
And things.
No, he is.
And by him doing this stuff, it's very helpful to him.
So, I say thanks, Ted, for coming out and doing it. He says, no, thank you.
Yeah, Ted.
Because he said I really enjoy coming out here.
It really gives Ted. He loves this stuff, and it gets him a sense of purpose. And so, please, when you're out there and you see Ted, talk to him, reach out. He'd love to tell you stories and give you some information about that. That's it's his passion, and you'll love it, and you're doing him a favor too. So please ask him that stuff. Loves that stuff.
So anyway, I guess basically WFBmuseum.org. Check that out. The education blocks. Also, there's a click on history. You go in and show you a bunch of different history on different organizations.
Yeah,
there.
And if you've got a youth group or something, like you said, usually about 9 to 12 kids is probably if it's bigger, we'll figure something out. But if you're interested in setting up something like that, reach out to the museum. Love to have that opportunity happen. If you've got a group of youth or anybody that's want to learn more about STEM or history or any of that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah, because part of our program, when they come out and see us, we show them how to make a Venn diagram and then careers in aviation and Roswell Aviation Maintenance Technician Program with Eastern New Mexico University, that, and a day in the life of a wind turbine engineer, Crumlin Auto Group and the Auto Mechanic Program, energy engine careers and oil well worker careers. What does a registered nurse do? And then some U.S. Air Force recruiting videos, aerospace ground equipment, air traffic control and electronic principles, and geospatial intelligence. And then the last one we show is all the science STEM type jobs, and it's titled "The Day in the Life at CIA."
Nice. So if you get a little bit of insight on other things, but not
that's right,
related but not necessarily connected.
And you can find all those on the website, and you can look those up on YouTube. We'll get them eventually where you can click on them and it'll play right directly. But you can look them up and put them in the search for YouTube, and you can play those yourself.
Yep, WAFBmuseum.org.
Right.
Is the website. And come see the new...
oh, by the way, we got a new jacket.
Oh, cool.
Somebody sent us a baseball jacket. He was a farm team for the Chicago Cubs, I believe, as a pitcher.
Okay.
He was stationed here as I think he was a sergeant.
Oh, wow.
Sergeant. And he was a pitcher, and it's a jacket showing... the Walker Bombers were the champions of the 8th Air Force tournament.
Oh, cool.
And it's a really beautiful blue jacket with a big giant patch on it that says 1954 Walker Bombers, championship thing.
Nice.
So
that's cool.
This guy, his dad had that jacket. And
I don't think there's too many of those laying around, I'm guessing.
I don't think so. And that draws in a few people who go, wow, where's that jacket come from?
Yeah, that's cool. So come see some of the new stuff. And
our new pegboard with all the pictures hanging on it.
Yeah, check out the new digs. Like I said, they'll open about 11:30 this morning till about 11:30 till about 1 or
about
so.
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock here this afternoon.
About 2 o'clock.
So, yeah, come on out. And that's kind of the schedule there. So
that's kind of the schedule right now.
Perfect. Well, as always, appreciate the visit, and we'll see you here next time. And if I don't see you before Christmas, have a Merry Christmas.
Yeah, same to you.
Hopefully, hopefully we'll see you then between.
Or maybe you'll see Ted. I don't know.
That's true too.
Well, no, that's not Ted. You're right.
Ted will be in January.
It'll be January 3rd. Yeah.
Yeah. So Merry Christmas to everybody. If I don't see you between now and then,
you too.
And come see the museum. Come check out this great treasure we have right here in our own backyard. So
that's right.
Good deal. We'll see you next time.
As Christmas draws near, if you're planning to travel, you might want to reconsider.
Travelers across much of the eastern U.S. are bracing for one of the most treacherous Christmas weekends in decades. Forecasters are warning of a bomb cyclone developing near the Great Lakes and create blizzard conditions. AAA spokeswoman Aixa Diaz says
people are still going to go on their trip. They may have to just adjust the timing.
But Diaz says traveling on Friday is not a good idea.
Go ahead and think about what you're going to do now if that flight gets canceled or if the roads are going to be impassable or just too dangerous to be out.
Diaz says if you're planning to drive, one option is to leave on Christmas Day, when there will be fewer cars on the road. I'm Mike Hempen.
Also at townhall.com, President Biden says Russia's